Hey guys, this is Chad Davis
and Liz Reed
from Pass the F and Popcorn, bringing you fresh movie news and reviews every week. Tune in to hear the latest movie news,
releases,
and reviews on all our movies we love to love
and love to hate.
Check us out on Facebook and Twitter at Pass the F and Popcorn.
And you can find us at passtheeffandpopcorn.podbean.com.
Hold up!
Aaron.
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
I listened to that podcast and I was like, I'm with it.
That sounds really cool. And then Chris Humphrey's hard fouls. Kevin Garnett pushes him straight to the third row.
Let's go.
My name is Dave. This is Joe.
Let's go.
This is the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. Joe, you got anything you want to say before you go?
No, we have talked a lot.
We have nothing left in the tank.
Let's go.
Welcome back, everybody. This is the 29th episode of the Boston Sports Nerds Podcast, the B.S.N Show. My name is Dave, and of course, I'm accompanied by my two fellow nerds here, Aaron and Joe. How are you two gentlemen doing?
I haven't done this in a while.
Aaron! There it is. He brought it out.
Break the
brought
mic.
it out.
Jesus.
I like it. Spike it. Spike it. Spike it. I missed it, I think.
Yeah,
I think. I don't know. I'm not sure. After hearing it, I might not. How are you, Joe? What's going on, man?
I'm good.
Good?
Really busy. It's been really busy at work lately.
Yeah.
Same here.
Yeah. Speaking of busy, the Celtics have been busy.
Yeah,
very
right
much so.
after we got done recording. Like the next day. It's just like, hey,
Yeah, there's more. Like,
here's this
hold on.
podcast we just recorded and the most important news at the
Right.
same time so
Of
that we
course.
don't touch on it.
That's the risk of the one day a week
Yeah.
show. You know what I mean? But Avery Bradley, for those that don't know, I'm sure you do, is on the move to the Detroit Pistons in exchange for Marcus Morris.
Horrible.
You don't like the move?
Hate the move.
Why?
I'm with Aaron. It's
I
awful.
hate the move.
It's a stupid move.
For two reasons, and I know you're going to think I'm crazy. And I know, Dave, I will give you the opportunity to tell me exactly how I'm wrong.
When you're done, I want you to go, and then I'm gonna fight both points. So go ahead.
Get ready. My big point is, like, I mean, I was all about, I knew that he was probably going to have to move.
Mm-hmm.
I've been in the corner of, if you're going to keep one guy, him or Crowder, get the fuck out of here, Crowder. I don't want you. I don't need you. You're a fucking crybaby. Get out of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
One. Two, watching that video, I watched a video of somebody did highlights of him, and it was like the naturation of how good he's gotten over the years.
Mm-hmm.
I almost cried. Almost. It wasn't
All right.
It wasn't the tribute to Dusty Rhodes that made me cry,
Right.
but it was pretty
It
heartfelt.
It tugged at the
It
heartstrings.
did, because I just saw a guy that was really rough, and he's gotten better.
Yeah.
And
He's fucking 26.
yeah. And my big issue is you traded for a guy, and this is, I know it's still, it doesn't really, we don't really have I don't think we're going to get the fucking conclusion that I'm thinking. But you traded for a guy that's got a fucking court case out there. He might do 4 years in jail.
Right.
Wasted fucking trade.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel. If he does any time at all, wasted fucking trade. Even if it's for 30 days, wasted fucking trade. That's how I feel.
Even if he doesn't do time, it's kind of a wasted trade.
What do you think?
Now, why? Why?
What is your reasons for not liking the
Avery
trade?
Bradley is like a all NBA defensive guard.
He wasn't.
No, but he should have been, and everyone
No,
knows
I-
that.
yeah.
That's like saying Brad Stevens with the coaching thing.
Right. Okay. All right. I thought I had a punch there.
I
But
also know one of Dave's comebacks to some of my point,
Right,
but
yeah.
go ahead.
But I know he's leaving probably. He only has 1 year left.
Yeah, no,
Right.
he was going to be gone at the end of the year.
And he's. I don't think he should be a max contract player, but in today's NBA, probably could
be
be.
like
Someone will give him a lot of money.
he'll be like 5 for 80.
Yeah, someone's going to give him a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's probably
More-
not going to be the Celtics.
More than the Celtics are going to give.
My
up.
only problem with the trade, and this is a lot like the Paul George trade, you did not get back what you traded away. Avery Bradley is a really, really good player. He should have been all NBA defensive team,
Right.
and he was your second best scorer.
Yeah.
He was. Am I correct in saying he led the team in rebounds?
I think he finished the season leading the team in rebounds. Yeah.
And-
on a per game basis, he
Yeah,
didn't have
yeah.
the most rebounds. Yeah.
He led the team in rebounds per game,
Yep.
and he's 25. You could have gotten more than you, and you traded a second-round pick. You traded Avery Bradley and a second-round pick and got back a really.
I will concede the second-round pick. I don't fucking get that. Like, that's weird. Like, you didn't need a second-round pick to pull the trigger on that deal.
You should have been like, all right, fuck you, Detroit. Like, all right, don't take him then.
Right.
We wanted to give him away, but why? Yeah, why not trade Jay Crowder?
Okay, so here's. Can I like? Are you guys good?
Isn't Crowder more money off the books? I know you have to match money.
Crowder's less money off the books.
He's less money?
He's less money off the books. He's at $6 million per year. Avery Bradley's at 8.2. You needed to shed about $3 million, right?
All right.
You'd shed exactly $3 million. So this wasn't a talent for talent trade. This was a financial trade. Avery Bradley makes 8. Marcus Morris makes 5. You're getting another guy that's a Jay Crowder type. That for $5-6 million, and in an NBA where people are making like $12.5 million all over the place, right? You're getting another good player, 14.8 points per game and 4.9 rebounds, 14 points.
That's what Marcus Morris is.
Yeah, so he's almost like 15 and 5, right? 14 and 5, whatever around there. Jay Crowder helps the Celtics. Now I like Avery Bradley as a player more than the Celtics, or more than Jay Crowder, but Jay Crowder helps the Celtics more. Avery Bradley is another undersized guard. They can't bring the ball up.
Yeah, but he can play the 2.
Yeah, but he can't.
He can. He can score.
He can.
He was
on
the
jump
best.
shots.
He was the best 3-point shooter on the team outside of Isaiah Thomas last year.
Right. But what did he score? Like, what percentage was he amongst 2 guards in the NBA?
I don't know. I think he shot high 30s.
Good, not great.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean. So Jay Crowder can play 2 or 3 positions for you.
I don't.
Avery Bradley can't.
Yeah, but I think you have less depth at Avery Bradley's position than you do at Jay Crowder's.
At the 4, you don't. You don't have any depth at all.
Yeah, but you could have traded Jay Crowder and gotten a 4.
But that's like a wash because Jay Crowder's probably going to play the stretch 4 too. Marcus Smart is going to be Avery Bradley.
Yeah, he's going to play the 2.
Or Jaylen Brown or Gordon Hayward.
Gordon Hayward's going to play the 2. By
Jay
the way,
Crowder,
just to loop back. Right. Gordon Hayward's playing the 2.
You'll probably be right. You'll probably be right about that. But I also had this conversation with Aaron. The starting lineup for the Boston Celtics on Game 1 is probably not going to be the starting lineup for the Boston Celtics in Game 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. Like, it's going to be a per matchup basis.
Yeah, what's his name's going to tinker with it.
Jay Crowder gives you could run, if you're running against a team like...
He's not a better player, though.
No, he's not. I'm not saying he is. Avery Bradley's a better basketball player than Jay Crowder.
My problem is the return.
Marcus Morris is a good player.
But he's not... How old is Marcus Morris? He's been in the league for like 9 million years.
5-6 years.
He came in the league in
he's 27,
2012.
Yeah. He's been in the league for 5 years.
I feel like he's been here forever. Him and his brother.
Right. It does feel like eternity, but they've both been in the league for like 5 years.
Like...
Yeah.
You have a guy... And... Avery Bradley has literally gotten better every year he's been in the league.
Right.
Like, I don't think you're at Avery Bradley's ceiling yet. So Detroit...
I think you're close.
Detroit traded away...
Avery Bradley's like 27 years old, 28. Like, he's like...
I think he's only 26.
Is he?
Yeah.
That might be true. I thought he did a couple years in college.
I thought Marcus Morris was older than you said he was.
That's true, yeah.
He's 27 years old.
Bradley?
No.
Marcus Morris.
Okay.
So
he's 27 years old. He's been in the league
like
for 6 years.
Okay, yeah. So
I don't know. I feel like I'd rather have Avery Bradley.
Of course. That's what I'm saying. It's not a talent for talent trade. But it gives you more flexibility. So check this out. Your lineup now could be Isaiah Thomas, Gordon Hayward, Jay Crowder, Marcus Morris, Al Horford, if you wanted. Or if you're playing like the Pelicans with Cousins and Davis, right, and you need a big lineup, you could go Thomas, Hayward, Crowder, Horford, Zizic, Bynes, whoever you throw in at the 5, like an actual center type. You know what I mean? If you want to run with Golden State's death lineup or lineup of death, then you put Jay Crowder at the 4.
Yeah,
you
but
put
that's
Tatum,
the problem.
Hayward.
You don't match up with Golden State as good anymore. The reason you matched up with Golden State was because Avery Bradley gave Steph Curry absolute fits.
Right. But also, Marcus Smart can do that.
But he's not as good as Avery Bradley.
But he also hasn't had the opportunity to show that he's not.
I don't know.
The minutes aren't there.
Minutes aren't there. But I just don't think it's... He is a really good defender. I just don't know if he's Avery Bradley level.
Of course.
Like if you poll NBA... Like they asked, I think it was Mike Conley.
Yeah.
Out of the whole NBA, who do you see on the opposite side of, like, across the court from you and think, I'm going to have a long night tonight? And he said it's Avery Bradley.
Avery Bradley, hands down. Right.
That guy sucks.
You're not going to get me to say Smart and Morris. Actually,
this is the problem.
Smart and Morris is better than having Avery Bradley on your team.
This is the problem, though. Are you trading Avery Bradley away to clear up room to sign Isaiah Thomas? Because I'm against that.
Well, it's actually to get Gordon Hayward.
Yeah, but you could have traded Jay Crowder for like a minimum contract guy and cleared the cap.
They could have done.
You could have got a mid-level exception or whatever.
But Marcus Morris fills a void. They don't have power forwards.
They signed that Baines guy.
Baines, right? Yeah.
But he plays more.
Or Baines. Or
he's
whatever.
a center.
More of a center.
He is a center.
He's a center. Right? Yeah. And he's 6'10", and
but
he's much taller.
But they have guys who could play the power forward. They have Horford.
Horford. Kelly Olynyk, Amir Johnson.
Is gone.
All those guys are gone.
Come on, man. They have that guy, Nader.
Zizic.
Right, yeah. Zizic, he's like a 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you have Horford, and then
Tatum could probably play the 4.
He could probably run the stretch 4.
Yeah.
Right. But so can Jay Crowder.
There's just a log jam now at the 3-4.
I don't think so.
I think it was before
that.
I think it was before that. I just didn't think.
Yeah, but I think it would have been better if you got rid of Jay Crowder and let these rookies play.
No, because you still don't have a 4 off the bench. Yeah.
But you could have got a 4, is what I'm saying. You could have traded Jay Crowder for a 4.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe it's not Marcus Morris, but it's still a 4.
But also, you have Crowder under control for an extra year for cheaper.
Yeah, but he's not a good player.
Now, that was going to be my next point. So, Jay Crowder is not a good 25, 30 minutes a game player. If he comes in off the bench, or he's like 12, 15 minutes, he's tough. I know we jump on him because he fucking shoots like 25% at times. You know what I mean? Like, he can be awful.
And he's afraid now that the guy that we wanted is actually on the team.
They're fine. They already Isaiah said they talked, and they're good. It was never about
He's
Hayward.
not as... the thing is, I give Jay Crowder a lot of shit. He's actually not as bad as I give...
He's a good player. He's a good, versatile, tough player. He will be a really good role player. Like, that's what his game is. He's going to come in. He's going to be better at home. He's going to come off the bench. He's going to give you
He's going to be a Posey type, you think?
When they got Jay Crowder...
he overperformed.
No. What's his name? Sean Grandy, the play-by-play guy for the Celtics, right? Said on the radio, you guys wondered what it'd be like if the Celtics had James Posey when he was in his prime. You're looking at it. It's Jay Crowder. Like, that's what he is. He is James Posey's game.
I think James Posey was just a much better 3-point shooter.
That's all. He's a better shooter.
He wasn't bad,
right? But they do a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
Jay Crowder will be used more in a lineup flexibility-wise than Avery Bradley would have been.
I didn't want to see Avery Bradley go.
I didn't either, and it's a tough pill to swallow.
Especially with the second-round pick. Like,
yeah, but
if it was almost,
it's like handing someone toilet paper.
Yeah, I know, but still, it was unnecessary.
It was unnecessary, but you said it.
You should have gone to the Pistons and said, "Listen, if you don't want the trade, I can find someone else who wants Avery Bradley. Fuck off."
You said that Danny had to lose a deal soon, and I know this wasn't the deal you were thinking of.
He didn't. I don't.
But this is a deal.
I can't even say he lost the deal yet. Because what if Marcus Morris balls the fuck out in Boston?
Right. That's if he doesn't do jail time.
Right. Now, the jail time thing...
Aaron's out on the deal already because he seems like a scumbag.
No. Like, I read about it.
What did he do?
Episode 28 allegedly committed a crime. There was... Him and his brother
was it like an assault thing?
Yeah, an assault thing.
Got into a bar fight or something?
They were at a youth basketball game. Supposedly some guy...
youth basketball game.
Supposedly some guy said something to his mother.
Oh, well, then he deserved to get his ass kicked.
The guy was leaving. He got clubbed in the back of the head. The guy ran to the car to call the police. 4 more people come running out from the parking lot, and the 5 of them pull him out of the car and beat the hell out of him.
Supposedly, he said something about his mom.
Supposedly, Markeith and Marcus were both there. Both Morris twins are on trial right now for that. So in August, the twins are both being accused. So it's not like...
It's not just him,
right,
but
right.
I'm just saying...
I'm not saying, the more the merrier.
Yeah. They'll be fine.
They'll lessen the charge because there was 2 of them.
They'll be fine.
There's only one witness that isn't the prosecutor, too. So it's his word and then one other person's word, and that's it.
And then the 5 guys on trial, I don't know what he's talking about.
And that's they had a lawyer on talking about what are the chances of him going to jail. They said, well, since there's so many people, you don't know who's talking to who. 2 of the guys might be taking a plea deal and be like, oh, it was the Morris twins. Those guys are crazy. But there is a common thread here that he also got an assault charge while he was in college. And the same thing, a guy was attacked from behind, was clubbed in the back of the head. And then also, there's one common denominator.
I'm not trying to jump on him for being... I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying the odds of you getting a guy that doesn't have that in the back of his head, even if he's playing. Okay, halfway through the season, he has to go fucking take care of this case and has to take a week off to go do that. I don't want that.
Right.
Avery, and this will play into you, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Avery Bradley never does a complete season.
Right, and that's the other thing too.
I figured that would have been the first
Avery
fucking thing you
that's
brought up.
right. That's another thing. Avery
Is
Bradley
that
has
he's-
missed. You could say all these things about what he has done for the Celtics, and he led the team in rebounds per game. Well, yeah, he only played in 50 games. He's missed 100 games in the past 4 years. Jay Crowder has missed far less. I don't know what the actual number is, but I know that he's much more durable. And same with Morris. Morris has played in 72 games every year of his career. He's never
That's
missed
good
more than 10
stat.
games this season. So
It could be a great trade.
I think they could have gotten more.
Yeah,
You probably could
that's
have.
my big worry.
But if you get more talent, he probably would have cost you more, and then it defeats the purpose of getting rid of Bradley at all. Because
think-
you get how many $6 million players, $7 million players, like however much wiggle room you needed, are you going to find in the NBA that make you better?
They should have gotten a second round pick.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
It should have been Avery Bradley.
That's an extra roll of toilet paper. Like, I don't want any more picks. I
they
don't want
need
any more
it.
second
They
round
need
picks.
it. They're stocking up.
Danny
Unless-
Ainge wants the 2027
Right.
second round pick protected.
Naturally. Yeah. Yeah. They can't be in the top 15 of the second round,
Yeah.
or it turns into a third round draft whenever they decide to do that.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I have the first pick of the third round when they add it.
In the year that the undetermined year that they add a third round
in
into the NBA
2087.
It literally just says draft pick TBD.
draft. yeah,
when
just
Danny Ainge is no
whenever.
longer on the planet Earth.
yeah, whoever
He
the
should
GM's
have
gonna be like,
gotten-
what is
this is-
this pick for?
Listen,
Why do I have this?
I went on the NBA trade calculator and I
Yeah.
did it. And it's Avery Bradley for Marcus Morris, a potential third round pick, and cash considerations.
Yeah, that
That's
trade
it.
was accepted.
Yes.
Right, and it's
And cash considerations held a press conference about how much he would love playing for the Celtics.
Did you see that? Did
Yes.
you go watch it?
Yeah, you
it's
talked
funny.
about it
Yeah,
the
it's
other
funny.
day.
It's not a good talent for talent deal. Like, I'll never, you know what I mean? Like, I understand Avery Bradley, and especially it hits home because Bradley was a player that did mature as a player
He's
in
a
Boston.
home built player.
Right, and it's tough to lose guys like that, but
He watched him ball the fuck out in Detroit. Just
he's going to be really good.
If he
absolutely ball the
does,
fuck
man,
out.
that's
But
gonna be tough
they're
to
putting
watch.
a lot of hope in him. They traded Reggie Jackson and cut Contavious
They
Caldwell Pope.
cut Contavious Caldwell?
Yeah,
Pope?
he has some drunk incident that they're just like,
like
we're not dealing with
DUI
that.
or whatever.
Some weird to fight a cop or something. It was some
He
weird
was like
story.
on a
that-
tractor
yeah.
at 3 a.m.
Right.
So
yeah.
he's
Drunk off his
Alfonso
ass.
Dennard.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if he tried to fight a cop, but it was just I remember there being like he was drunk and
Yeah.
something. You know what I mean? I was like, oh shit. So they cut ties with KCP. So it's like now, what's their backcourt like? Avery Bradley,
I guess, yeah.
and Avery Bradley. Like that's it. And if he's going to be their point guard at 6'2", fuck yourself because he cannot bring the ball up.
But
What happens if he does? Like, no, I'm not saying this like to just,
I don't know
just
if
to
he can
spite
pass.
you. Imagine if he just comes out, he spends all off season training with somebody, and he's just like
Right.
comes out and he's, I don't want to say all star, but he is a very serviceable.
he was never really
Point guard.
asked to be a point guard, though, in the Celtics.
He
Maybe he can.
he
but
did a little
That's
bit
what he
like
did
when
in college when he was in Texas.
Yeah, in Texas.
He was
Yeah,
at
he was a
Texas.
point guard in Texas, and
He
but
played
yeah, in the NBA
Durant,
when
I think,
him
right?
and Ray and maybe like
Didn't
Wasn't that
They
AC
together.
Law?
maybe like the last year, when Ray and Rondo and him were all there,
Yeah.
Bradley would bring the ball up when Rondo was on the bench, and he would play the point for them there. Like if Ray was on the court, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. So
He has done it.
he is
I just
the
don't think-
worst. I mean, and I like Avery Bradley a lot. I used to not. I wasn't a big fan. I never liked the draft pick. I was like, oh my god, this guy fucking 6'2". Like, what's his angle at a 2 guard? I don't love it. But
Wasn't he
you
a
think
late
about-
first round pick?
he was a 21st pick.
Yeah,
something like
he was
that.
a
He
late
used to
for-
be. Well, the thing is, he's really kind of blossomed offensively because he
Right.
used to just be like,
Yeah,
don't even
defense.
pass him the ball
Right.
on
Yeah,
offense because
but he's a defensive threat, like
Yeah, right.
threat to the other team.
no, but now
a
he's
fucking
he's
sniper.
like I remember like when he first started just hucking up threes and like, oh wow, he's actually making these.
He's
now.
making these shots.
When-
Yeah,
when
everyone
did
was
this
kind of like,
happen?
no, yeah.
When,
nice shot,
when
yeah.
did Avery Bradley start shooting like good?
And now the kicker is if they're able to do this, they're looking at Tony Allen. So if you can bring Tony Allen in
As
and
a-
have Marcus Morris,
Veteran minimum,
Right,
yeah.
yeah,
Tony
but-
Allen kind of
I mean,
that negates
it.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And
then
that's essentially who he replaced.
Clamps.
right. To me, then it's
Clamps.
then it's you win the deal, because then you got yourself Marcus Morris, and barring that he doesn't go to jail for 4 years.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
that second round pick.
Just you never know.
See, I'm not. I
It's
didn't
funny
know
because
that.
I was like,
didn't know
hey,
that.
will you please trade away some of these picks?
And it was like a future.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like this year's. It's like the 2022 second round pick. And I'm like,
Draft protected.
right. It's like, what are we doing? I did think that was odd. When I saw that, I was like, wow, Bradley for Morris. And at first I was like, damn.
Danny
And I
Ainge
was like,
trades
that's
Avery
actually a good
Bradley
deal.
and a signed picture of Danny Ainge for Marcus Morris.
Do things the old Red Auerbach way. Here, you can take the nice skating girls. That's ours. And give us your pick. No, I think it's a good deal. It's not a good talent for talent deal. I'll say that till I'm blue in the face. But it makes it does everything that the Celtics needed to do. You acquired more value. You can use Morris now in a trade to throw in if you need that $5 million extra. Like if you're trying to get Anthony Davis. And you're like, all right, we're paying Horford this much. We need an extra $5 million. Okay, well then Morris, you could.
All right, I've come around on it. Avery Bradley's a fucking bum. Get him out of town. Get him out of town. I don't like him.
It's a good deal. I think if you go watch Marcus Morris, and I'm going to talk about him later in the show.
Go ride in the Motor City. You fucking bum.
I'm going to talk about Morris later, and I think he's really, if he plays, he's really going to grow.
Fucking Marcus Morris.
He's the guy.
Greatest fucking player of all time. Get the
what do you
fuck.
think?
Avery Bradley, get him out of here.
Get him the fuck out of here.
Fucking bum.
So, the Red Sox are still boring to me.
Well, it's baseball.
But, yeah, and I think that's
We
just
don't
the
have a
struggle.
guy who's 6'8" and he hits like 700-foot home runs with juiced balls.
How good for the league is Aaron Judge?
Somebody I was listening to. Jay was telling me, he's like, I just want him to have like a little like attitude
Yeah,
or a
a
little
little edge.
anger.
Yeah, he's like
and I
like
laughed
a
at him. I
Christian
said,
guy.
I laughed at him. I go, you had Jeter.
Right.
He's so
You
boring.
went from Jeter to him as your new like the new
Right,
young
right, yeah,
talent
right.
that's going to take over your team. He's going to be the.
I'm friends with some
quote-unquote-
Yankee fans. They're like, "Oh, how awesome is it that Aaron Judge already broke the rookie home run record?" And I was like, "Just tells you how soft of a franchise New York is that he already did it." Fucking scummy bum ass franchise.
I thought it was great that he not only was like
Also-
that he was the hype behind the home run derby,
Yeah, he almost didn't make it.
Right.
There was
I wanted
one
him to
round
lose.
he almost lost. I
Right.
was like, holy shit.
Yeah, he got.
How dope was it to watch? Like, when's the last time? Like, remember like when Ken Griffey won the home run derby, and it was like he was just
wasn't it
put on a
like
show.
wasn't it like back to back years? Didn't he win it?
I know he was in the finals, but I don't know if
It's
he
the
won
best
both. He might
baseball
have-
swing of all time.
Yeah,
Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah, we went over that.
Best ever. Yeah.
Greatest thing ever.
And then like
Sweetest.
and
It's
then
like a
right in the
work of
middle,
art.
right in the middle of the home run fucking chaos parade, there was like Mark McGuire winning at Fenway,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Winning the home run derby.
Cranking him over the fucking...
Juiced to the gills.
Oh, God,
Just-
right.
Oh, yeah.
His muscles have muscles.
But
he looks
that
like
was-
Scott
his
Steiner.
right.
Just like.
His acne had muscles.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. His pimples. I like that.
By the way, have you seen Sammy Sosa lately?
He is a white man.
Yeah.
Sammy
he's
Sosa is
really
a white
weird.
person.
He's
Yeah.
really
he
weird.
looks like a mime. Like he has mime skin.
Yeah, that's a tough thing.
That has
I-
he has
I-
some
I-
kind of mental disorder or
No,
something.
I had a guy that
Vitiligo.
I had a guy that I went to high school with that because
He keeps bleaching his skin.
when we wrestled, he would have to let the referees know that this isn't ringworm. I have a pigment deficiency. My skin is slowly turning white.
Oh,
Yeah, but
right,
that's
right,
not
right.
what this is.
No, I'm not saying that, but there are guys. That,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Their skins.
Yeah.
That's what
Was that the
Michael
Vil-
Jackson
right, the
claims.
vitiligo,
It's
yeah,
bullshit. He didn't have that.
Right, he bleached himself.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
But
what Sammy Sosa.
he
He's
made himself-
bleaching his skin.
Yeah, they're essentially making themselves into white women,
Right.
but slowly getting there.
It's nuts. Yeah, he's a white person. But yeah, back to the derby. Like those derbies were like so dope.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
you know what I
no.
mean? Like you go in, you're like, man, who's gonna? He's gonna
That's
rock
why
it. He's gonna rock
steroids
it.
should be legal.
Aaron Judge did that this week. Like he
Yeah.
was the draw.
No
like
one
him
thinks
and
it's
Giancarlo
weird.
Stanton.
Like Aaron Judge was batting like 125 last year. Now he's batting.
We can't do that because we root for David Ortiz. So
I don't know. It just
you know
seems
what I
weird to
mean?
me.
Like you can't like David Ortiz and then
Well,
say,
here's the
like,
thing.
his Minnesota time was legit.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
I just think I'm one of those people that when I watch it, I'm like, last year was, oh my god, the Red Sox, look at all these young talent.
right.
This year, the Yankees have Judge and Sanchez, their third
Yeah,
baseman,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Don't they have
I think
another
he's the
guy,
catcher-
too?
Their catcher.
Catcher?
I think he's their catcher. Yeah,
They have another guy too.
they do. There's like three of them.
Bellin or
But
something like that.
my
I can't
point
remember
is,
his name.
it's good for the league to have essentially your two biggest franchises
built from the ground up again,
building up young talent again.
Right, that's true.
And they're going to compete against one another for years to come.
I don't
But
care how
hey,
the
real
Yankees
quick-
do it as long as they are in second.
Not to keep going back to it, but he fucking rocked the home run derby though too. Like
No, he won.
I mean, 400 or 500-foot home runs.
Those balls were not. I mean, he
You
came
didn't-
out.
you weren't impressed?
He came out and said that the balls weren't juiced. I don't know if I don't believe that.
Of course, they're juiced.
They were juiced to the gills. There's
They're
no
juiced.
way.
I think the league's balls.
You know
are
how
juiced right
rare
now.
a 500-foot home run is?
Right.
He hit 4 of them.
4 of them.
Like those balls have some shit done to them, so they fly out of the park.
Those are
I also
sewn
think
extra tight.
Yeah.
I also feel like but I also feel like if you get guys that's like their shtick is hitting home runs.
But you know what?
And you tell them to go out there and just listen, crank his. Have you ever
go
watched?
nuts.
Props to the fucking
The BP pitcher.
no.
Have you ever watched the home run derbies like randomly on ESPN? They'll throw like a home run derby of softball.
Oh right, yeah.
And those guys are using aluminum bats and they're hitting softballs.
Right.
They're hitting them out of a major league park, like not San Francisco where they have like an opening to the fucking water.
Right.
They're hitting them out of like over Yankee Stadium
Right,
and
right.
out of the park.
It's crazy.
If you want to hit it that hard and that's what you fucking do, that's all you have to do is hit as hard as you fucking can. You can crank.
And
them.
that's what they say. Like a lot of guys that do the derby screws their swing up because when they try, you're trying to.
That's
fucking
why
demolish.
That's
a ball.
why a lot of them don't like. That's why Ortiz said after that 1 year he won it. He's like, I can't do that shit
Right,
again.
and he
You know
was-
how,
he was
how
really
bad
bad
my
afterwards,
how
yeah.
bad my average went down.
I think they juice them.
I think
they juice those
Hey,
balls.
here's a hot take. I think the balls are juiced in the MLB right now.
Really?
There's a lot of home runs. They're on a really
Props-
high pace.
Props to the commissioner.
Yeah.
Props to the commissioner. Juice the fuck out of those balls. You know what people like to see?
Home
Home runs.
runs. Chicks
And
take
if
the
the guys
long ball.
can't juice,
Right.
juice those balls.
Juice the balls. Because I read some stat that said that like, they're
I think we should play with tennis balls.
ahead.
They should play baseball with fucking tennis balls and metal bats.
I think.
And watch
See, metal bats, I disagree with. Have you ever seen a ball come off of there's been a lot of like it's softball. I've seen guys like my dad's old boss.
Oh, yeah, really
He
unsafe.
hit a home. Some guy hit a fucking line drive, and he was pitching. Hit a line drive straight at him with one of those aluminum bats. It's, to be honest, it happens in MLB
Right,
as
yeah,
well.
yeah, right.
That's why you make it a tennis ball, though. Not as hard. Doesn't do as much damage.
It just stings like a
Flies-
motherfucker.
Flies the fuck out of there the moment it makes contact.
So then switch it from metal to
it literally-
wiffle ball
it
bats.
literally-
Yeah,
Just
right.
tape wiffle ball
it
bats.
literally
Let's go.
turns into like either an out or a home run. That's
Right.
it. Those are the only two
Yeah,
plays in a
that's-
baseball
that's
game.
it. I want to say that I read an article that said the major leagues have produced more home runs at this point this year than they did at the peak of the steroid era.
Yes.
Like not.
No,
not
that's a fact.
that
They
is
said
a-
that if it keeps at this rate, they'll beat the record by like 600 home runs
Yeah,
or
why
some
not?
shit for the
Actually,
season.
this makes a lot of sense. Why not cork the bats a little and juice the balls?
right. What's wrong with that?
You're not
It's-
you're not telling your players to do drugs.
not
You're
an-
just saying-
competitive advantage.
It's not an illegal advantage because everyone has corked bats and juiced balls, and you get more of what everyone likes to see, which is home runs.
Because they'll be like, oh, what about the pitcher's ERA? The
You get-
history of the
yeah,
pitcher
who
is
gives a
ruined.
fuck?
But
Okay,
that's
but
the
during the
baseball writers of
steroid-
America. You know?
Not
here's
only
the
that,
thing.
but then you'll know who the really good pitchers are because the ones that aren't giving up hits.
fucking the greatest pitcher in the steroid era in my eyes is
Pedro.
fucking Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux and Pedro, those two. Yeah,
Greg
yeah.
Maddux he didn't fucking throw 100.
Right.
He didn't give a flying fuck.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he was still taking people out. And he
Right.
played he played in the National League. But he still was
But you know
filthy.
who's in the National League? Sammy Sosa, Mark McGuire,
Yeah.
like all those guys
Yeah.
were in the National
Barry
League.
Bonds.
Yeah, Barry Bonds,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So Greg
He
Maddux is
played
great.
he played for the Braves and he played for the Cubs.
Right. Yeah.
He played against all
I
those
say
guys.
that Pedro was the best steroid era pitcher, but you're right, like for not throwing
Pedro's the best
hard
pitcher I've ever
gas.
seen.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, but not throwing
I've
hard
ever
gas,
watched.
being able to just masterpiece people. Yeah,
oh my
you're
god,
right,
that's
yeah.
but see that's why I think he might be one of my favorite. He might be my favorite pitcher.
Maddux.
Maddux. Yeah, how many gold dude that guy has like 14 gold gloves.
That's crazy. The behind the back catch all
I
the
get
time,
it.
dude.
No, I get it that he's a pitcher, but like
Behind the back,
he gave a shit.
The behind the back catch is like his elbow pass, like
Right,
the
yeah,
Jason
yeah.
Williams elbow pass.
Because
Just, like,
he
one
pulled that out
cool
several
highlight
times.
of
Just
that.
like
You know how
I mean,
many-
like, he's done it several times.
You know how they used to make jokes about how like Elway could have been a great left fielder and this. when they talk about Maddox,
Right.
they're like, if he just focused on playing in the field, like playing first base and batting, they're like, he might not have been the greatest steroid batter, during that era, but he would have been like one of the best first basemen, defensively, and he would have been definitely in the running for like most home runs as a first baseman.
I hope they're juicing the balls and the bat. I think they should. I think they should juice the balls and bats. Who does it really affect?
Right. It doesn't hurt. You're not promoting your players harming themselves by taking stuff that could kill them.
Cut games to 7 innings, juice the balls and bats.
Boom. That's it.
That's how you save baseball.
I agree with the 7 innings for the simple fact that I'm tired of watching every game. Once it gets past like the 4th inning, let's start bringing everybody in.
You have to do a fucking stretch. They have a stretch.
Right.
Like
that
that's how you
should
know
be-
it's too long.
Right.
I have to do a stretch.
If you know it's like, hey, 7 inning stretch time.
Yeah, but you get that sweet song.
Sweet,
Fenway.
yeah.
Yeah, you know when you play that now when everyone's leaving.
That's true.
I mean, true.
That would be good.
Just make it the 5.
Yeah, but if it was
make
a
it the
lo-
5th inning
But
stretch.
if it was a loss and you had to hear that on the way out of the stadium,
Sweet Caroline.
I hate this.
I love it.
I hate this so
Why?
much.
What, do you hate Neil Diamond? Like, what is?
It's so fucking dumb.
Why?
It has nothing to do with Boston.
No, you know,
it's a fucking dumb song to
I have
play
a
at a
theory.
Red Sox
I have a
game.
theory about people who hate Sweet Caroline, and it's the same people who are like, I liked that band before they were famous. That's those people. Like, I'm too cool to do Sweet Caroline.
No, it's
Like,
not that I'm too cool. It doesn't
That's who you
fucking
are.
If you were
fit.
sitting there during
Yeah,
like,
but we have a cool ass tradition. You should like that's a
Yes,
tradition
but
that
why is
other
that-
teams don't have.
But why is that cool?
Because
like,
it's
what
fun.
makes
It's
it-
a team
fun.
tradition.
It's a fun thing.
Yeah, but that became like a team tradition like late. Like that wasn't always like it wasn't like from the day
Who
the song
cares?
came
It's still
out.
a team
they started to-
tradition.
No,
it's still
it's
relate.
fucking
It's
dumb.
people think, oh, Boston, Sweet Caroline. Like
so
when you,
dumb. It's
but
so
here's the
dumb.
thing, Dave. If
it's
we,
part of the
if,
atmosphere.
if I can talk to my buddy, get us tickets in the in one of the box seats.
Yeah.
and you're sitting there, and that song comes on, you're not gonna
you're not gonna
feel the mood to like.
Of course,
tap,
no. Of course, I'll
tap
sing
your
it.
foot,
I'm in the
sing
moment,
it.
but
Yeah,
that
it's
doesn't
okay.
mean.
Yeah,
that
it's
doesn't
part of
mean-
the.
It's-
It's part of the.
I don't disagree that it's.
It's a dumbass song. I agree with you on that, but it's part of the atmosphere.
It's
the
fun
atmosphere.
of it.
started in 2002.
It
Okay.
adds to the atmosphere.
Dave.
It's not a fucking thing. Like,
Dave.
not to, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it's I like that band before they got cool. But like, my Red Sox didn't have to do that. Like,
What do you
that
mean?
wasn't a thing.
When they won the championship.
I'm not talking about winning the championship. I was a Red Sox fan long before 2002.
Oh, I get that.
You know what I mean? So,
Okay,
like,
because Nomar
it's a
didn't do
stupid
it.
fucking
And wasn't a
thing.
huge fan of it. You're not. A
I
fan
think
of
it adds.
Dave?
I think it adds to the atmosphere.
You think
It's
so?
better than the fucking wave.
See, I don't think so. It's more unique than the wave, but the uniqueness of
better
it
than
doesn't
the
make
wave.
sense.
I think what it is it's and I don't want to. I know it sounds stupid,
Joe
but
just tried to start the wave in the podcast.
Yeah.
it's unique to Boston. In the simple fact that they're the only ones that do that.
Yeah.
It's like the Flash or the Freeze in Atlanta.
Right, the Flash is awesome.
No, is it the it's
Freeze,
the
or whatever. Yeah, right.
What
Freeze is awesome.
What the fuck is that?
The
The
guy
guy
that
who
lost the
races
All-Star
people?
game. He fucking sees a fraud. He lost the All-Star game.
No, there's conspiracy theories about that.
Is there?
Yeah, that they didn't let the guy who does the Atlanta like timing of
Yeah.
when he can go.
Yeah.
It wasn't him. It was a different guy. So it's not like the same timing.
The guy, have you seen this guy?
He dresses in like a
ice
costume.
colored, like that frozen ice color.
And then they let a fan come down and race him, and the fan gets like a humongous head start, and then the Freeze fucking catches the fan and passes them.
They run from foul pole to foul pole.
He was like an
along the
Olympic
outfield.
sprinter. He like barely missed the Olympics by like 0.3 of a second in sprinting.
It's pretty cool. That's
He's really cool.
You know why? Because that's something to fucking root for. Like
But
that's another
but it
competitive
adds-
thing
it
within
adds
the
to
game.
the atmosphere.
Right.
It's just an atmosphere
I agree.
thing.
I like Freeze because it's another competition within the game that I'm watching. Like that's cool. I'm not here for Neil fucking Diamond.
I'm also not here for fucking Freeze either.
No,
No, you're here to
But
see
it's
a
something
game,
to
but it
root
adds to the
for.
atmosphere.
It's something,
But it's something to root for.
But it's
You
something
go
that
to
Boston.
It's
does.
it's the Braves, right?
I don't know.
I think it's the Braves. When you go to a Braves game, it's be like, oh, the Freeze is on. Same thing. And I go to the Boston game, it's like, oh, here comes Sweet Caroline.
But the whole point, Dave, is like it's something fun and unique
I think it's
to
Atlanta.
Boston.
No, I know it is, but I think it's dumb that it is.
I'm gonna get you like
That's like if at
half
Patriots
tweaked.
games at halftime we all went fucking California love.
No, but the Patriots
Why?
have
do
the,
this shit.
they play the fucking horseshit song by fucking
Bon
moron
Jovi.
from
you
fucking
mean the guy
Jersey.
who's best friends with the
No,
coach?
but that's
in the
not what
owner?
I think about with the Patriots.
What does that
though.
have to do with anything that the fucking Patriots
He's a
do?
partner with the Patriots.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Bon Jovi?
Yes.
He owns a fucking
Arena football team.
Right, team in fucking
That doesn't mean that
Philadelphia.
he's not best friends and linked to the Patriots. Everyone knows Bon Jovi and Bill Belichick are best friends.
Okay,
That's, not
Everyone
even,
knows
that's
that.
not even what I think
Neil
about.
Diamond
though.
isn't even friends with any fucking buddy there. So like, why?
I don't-
Why
why
Sweet
did it
Caroline?
start? Does anyone
That's
know?
what I'm saying. Like, why? It doesn't make any fucking
I
sense.
really don't care.
Bon Jovi makes sense because at least there's a link. There's a fucking 6 degrees to fucking Bon Jovi. Oh, it's like Bill Belichick, and then the sound guy
So
knows
it's
him.
the
and he
6
knows,
degrees to
there's
Kevin Bacon?
Right. There's no fucking link to Neil
Who cares
Diamond.
about Bon Jovi?
Who cares about Neil Diamond?
Maybe.
Why do
Maybe.
we give a shit? Why are you guys defending fucking Sweet
This is-
Caroline at the 7th inning stretch?
I think it adds to the.
I'm not saying you're wrong. It does. I've been there. I've sang it. I just don't get the buzz. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
It's just a tradition now. There are stupid traditions. It's an easy song to sing along to. It would make a lot more sense to play Shipping Up to Boston. You can't fucking sing along to it.
I would rather
But
do
when
like
the-
fucking Journey. Don't Stop Believing in the 7th
oh.
inning. And I'd be like, there you go. That fucking makes sense because it's like, don't stop. It's encouraging. It's fucking sports related. You can apply it. Sweet Caroline. Oh, whatever fucking.
But when
that
you say
doesn't
Sweet
fucking
Caroline,
fit.
the first thing I want to do is, oh.
I get the karaoke aspect of it.
That's all that matters.
I understand it.
It's like, oh,
but
this
it's
is a
just-
lot of good
it's
fan input. We're going to
ridiculous.
keep playing Sweet Caroline.
The Freeze is in Atlanta, by the way.
Yeah.
He is.
The thing I think about with the Patriots isn't even the Bon Jovi song, it's the cannons going off.
Of course, yeah, the Militiamen, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. Or the Minutemen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Adds to the atmosphere. The cannons going off.
Yeah, but that makes fucking sense.
I know,
Like,
I get
you're
what you're
making my
saying. It doesn't
point.
make sense.
Do you want to know the inspiration to the song?
Sure, fuck it. To the song or to,
the
why
song.
Fenway plays it?
No, they won't give an
I don't
explanation.
give a
on
shit
they
why
played
Sweet
it.
Caroline was made.
Want to know why? I'll tell you the explanation about why Sweet Caroline gets played.
Okay.
Some dude is like, I'm a really big fan of Neil Diamond, and I run what sound gets played at Fenway. So we put on Sweet Caroline. A bunch of people in the audience knew what Sweet Caroline was. When the oh happened,
Yeah.
everyone sang it. And he was like, you know what? That got a good reaction. So the next 7th inning stretch, he played fucking Sweet Caroline.
Did you know that?
No, I just...
That's exactly what happened.
Yes.
In reality, Sweet Caroline became the unofficial song of the Boston Red Sox because a woman named Amy Toby liked the song, played it during a game, and it stuck. If you haven't seen the video of Neil Diamond performing Sweet Caroline at Fenway, this is a must-see.
He's done it. He's done it. And then after the bombings, Boston bombings, he came to the next game.
Well, now it matters to Boston.
And he led the crowd in singing the song.
Right, and that's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Like, you gotta a reaction.
Isn't the song kind of creepy?
He wrote. All right. So the inspiration of the song was about JFK's daughter, Caroline. That's where he got his inspiration from.
Really?
He admitted that in 2000.
And if you listen to the lyrics, they're like weird, considering it's about a little girl.
That's like in
but he was probably. I don't want to say he was. He was definitely not. You know, she might have not been legal.
Don't be the kid who goes, I like that band before they were
it's
cool.
not. It's like it's a new tradition.
Don't
that
go to
doesn't
that
make
guy
sense.
who sits there with his fucking arms crossed and Sweet Caroline comes on. You're at a Red Sox game. Like, not singing you stupid song.
He already said he sings it. He just wants to
course
be
I
a
sing
tough
it.
guy.
I'm not
in front
talking to
of
Dave
us.
in general. I'm talking to people
that
in
guy, right.
our audience.
My
Don't be
thing
that
is,
guy.
like,
Just
if-
fucking sing the song.
If any
I
one of our
mean-
girlfriends came home and just shit on the floor, I'd be like, "What are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, it's a tradition now."
Hey, you don't let that get to a tradition. You
Hold
stop
on.
that at the thing.
Hold on.
You
hold
need-
on.
it needs
gotta
to
put a-
happen
you
multiple
gotta put a good
times.
reaction
You can't
to
do
ask.
something one time and call it a tradition.
What, does she clean it or do you clean it?
That's depends on the reaction.
No,
No.
that shouldn't matter. There's shit on the floor.
If she cleans it,
Right. Then
Not my
whatever.
problem.
Not your problem. Yeah, no, that's not cool. I'm not coming home to that. Like, that's tradition now. We've been doing it. We've been doing it for a day now.
No, you can't do something one time, call it a tradition.
We've been doing it a day. But that's how Sweet Caroline hit. It was like, oh, that worked once.
yeah.
No,
And then cram it
they
down your
did it a
fucking
couple
throat.
times, and now it's a tradition.
Right,
It
but that's
was-
what I'm saying. Like out of nowhere,
Everything
She would
starts
need
that
to
way.
shit on the floor
The
like
living
at
room
least
shit
5
would have
times
to-
before she dropped the tradition one.
Every-
you can't
every
stop her
song-
from doing it. Like the
every
lady
song
playing
starts that way.
Sweet
Yeah, you
Caroline.
can leave. Don't let that happen.
Right, but
Any girl who shits
Just
on the
get-
floors, you shouldn't call your girlfriend anymore.
out of that relationship.
You need to stop letting her in your house, your place of residence.
That's true. I guess you have a choice.
Dave, every time you let this girl over, she
Okay,
shits
all
on the
right,
floor.
all right, so
Why do you
wait a
keep
minute,
letting her
wait a
over?
minute. So you know what I'm doing? I'm leaving the girl that's shitting on the floor. I don't like the
It's
Sweet
too late. It's a
Caroline
tradition
thing.
now.
I don't
We let
like-
it happen.
I never liked it. I never
Blame
liked
the people
it.
who
Dave, you didn't stop it at the beginning.
blame the people who
I should have done like a
from the start.
change.org. I'm going to start a petition.
Blame the people. You host a Boston sports radio a podcast,
Right. I hate Dustin Pedroia.
and you hate Dustin Pedroia and Sweet Caroline.
Just for the, yeah,
We got to get him on.
we got to get that fucking guy that's mad
No,
at me for
I just
hating
want
Dustin
Pedroia
Pedroia.
on.
We are gonna. Me and Aaron are gonna start a private campaign to get Glenn
Soon as
Davy
you-
Davis on the podcast.
Is that what your campaign's
As soon
gonna be?
as you
Oh.
get me back on Twitter,
Yeah.
Just at every day. Hey, come on the Boston Sports Nerd podcast.
we
Big
just
fan.
want a 10-minute conversation.
We're a big
play it.
fan of Big Baby over here.
I'll play
I
nice.
like the guy.
I'll play nice. Yeah. Whatever. I don't.
We'll just mute Dave's mic for the
See,
whole
here's the
interview.
difference. I think you could still
I'd be like, hey, you fat piggy fuck, how are you?
I think
You'll
you
just
would-
hear it in the background like, I hate you, you're a fat fuck.
Hey, you fat piggy fuck, hey, you fuck
no,
face.
no. Dave would just be like,
I'm sorry.
"Have you
Sorry,
lost
Glenn.
the weight, you fucking bastard? We have people don't forget." No,
Hashtag people don't forget, you fat piggy fuck face.
no, but I can picture Dave going savage
Just
on
from like
him.
across the room.
You wouldn't. I can't picture you going off on Pedroia.
I
I
want to talk to Pedroia about
No, that's
that.
what I mean.
He
Like,
would- this is
ask
how it would
him
go.
Seriously.
Hi, welcome to the Boston Sports News Podcast. I'm Dave. We're here with Dustin Pedroia. Hi, Dustin. I just want to let you know I fucking hate you.
Yeah,
Never liked anything you ever did in Boston. I think you're a terrible leader. And then I'd be like, hi, I'm Joe. I'm down with the laser show.
we all-
let's just ignore
everyone
Dave.
else likes
Dave
you.
doesn't speak for the three nerds. He
Right.
speaks for himself.
Like, I would start out like this. Hey, Dustin, how you doing? It's a pleasure to have you on. Do you think you're still as good of a player as you used to be? Just get there? Like, okay.
Can I go home?
Is that a clear? Can I go home now?
I think if you started out with asking
Just
him,
one of
like,
those.
do you feel like you've lost a step?
Yeah.
I think that's a little bit nicer way of saying you're fucking old.
And click.
Right.
Yeah.
Dustin?
Dustin, are you-
Dustin?
Are we on the same page about where you're at in your career? Like, do we agree
I think he knows that, like,
that I don't like him?
no, I think he knows that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it's coming quick.
Every night at home, he paces back and forth like, that fucking Dave guy.
He hates me.
He's got his fucking baseball pants still on. Just like,
Pedroia.
God, fucking Dave from the Boston Sports
Are
Nerds.
you ever going to make an All-Star game again?
Can I go home?
No, that'd be it.
Just
Right there.
click.
Are you done?
Dustin? Dustin, you there?
One All-Star game in your last, what will it be, like 10 seasons when you finally hang it up? Like,
So how does it feel to suck now?
So, speaking of not sucking, right? Boston Patriots? Jesus fucking Christ.
You're doing great.
They were an
2
old
weeks in a
team.
row.
That was the original
Those
team,
are
right?
the Boston Patriots.
You're
my,
doing great.
My Patriots. Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna date back to the Boston
Yeah.
Patriots when I was a fan of that.
You know what I think they should do in New England now? They should start doing Sweet Caroline
yeah.
at Pat's games.
That'd be cool.
No, that'd be cool.
Halftime.
No, Dave's like, yeah, no, I'd be down with that. That's
Yeah, no,
fine. That's
fucking-
cool.
That's perfect.
You know what I think? Take away the cannons. Just do Sweet
Yeah,
Caroline.
just do Sweet Caroline. Do
Every
it
time
every
they
year.
score.
Sweet Caroline, and then
As sung by Bon Jovi. Sweet Caroline as sung by
Take
Bon
the
Jovi.
Bruins horn away. Take the fucking Minutemen away.
They light the cannon, and instead of making an explosion sound, it just plays Sweet Caroline.
Sweet Caroline. It's just a karaoke machine that
Yeah.
projects the lyrics. The New England Patriots won Game of the Year, right?
They won Game of the Year.
Did
Yeah.
they win anything else last night? On
No.
the ESPYs?
that was
That's
amazing, though. It
You
was
know-
Nominated
amazing.
like 5 times.
I don't know, throwing this out there. They are hosted by ESPN, but
Right.
that's who does the ESPYs.
That's interesting. Very interesting.
I loved
ESPN.
it.
Oh, the
I
news
loved
outlet that doesn't like the Patriots.
clips of it that I saw.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Peyton was funny.
Peyton Manning's been getting his
funny.
dick sucked all day about how funny he was.
I hate that. Like, it was good.
Yeah, I
but
get it. Peyton Manning was funny. He probably didn't write any of those jokes.
What did you
He's
think
real
of the
good
Kevin
at,
Durant interaction?
I think that was fake.
It was fake, right? That's what I think, too. I've
'cause
watched it
at
3 or
the
4
At
times.
the beginning, it looks like he's trying not to smile, and
Right.
then he puts his hand like over his mouth.
Right.
And then when they cut to Russell Westbrook, because he's like,
Right.
"What do you think, Russell?"
Right.
It looks like
He's
he's
just
just
like-
copying what Kevin
Right.
Durant is doing.
Right. When they showed Durant's face on the big screen behind him, it looked fake to me. there, like the dead serious, deadpan look, because it was like then everyone can see it, and it just seemed weird. I
Well,
don't know,
Kevin
it felt
Durant's
weird.
mom is laughing,
Right.
like next to him,
Right.
and it looks like Kevin Durant has like a smirk on his face, and then he's like, "I'm just gonna
Then he,
play
like,
it cool."
deadpans it,
Yeah,
right.
I'm
He
gonna
had,
play
to
it
put his,
deadpan.
he had to put his hand over
And then he
his
puts his
mouth.
hand over it, so just like he's like, "I'm gonna hold this here as part of the joke."
I like that he tweeted the flat face on Twitter, like 5 minutes after that, like right away. Like his only tweet was just the fucking like
It's
the
gone viral.
flat
His
eyes.
his like picture of him like
Right.
dead serious.
That's
is gone
that's
viral.
the meme of 2017 so far.
Like when
that's
your
gonna
teacher
turn
gives you a
into thing.
47 on a test, just
Right.
like
Right. Yeah. KD face.
yeah, Katie. Oh no, is he the new crying Jordan?
He might be the new crying Jordan. That's going to be a big meme. That's going to take off.
Why Kevin Durant is the new Michael Jordan?
Right.
Not
And then
LeBron
didn't-
James.
Not LeBron
Someone
James.
needs to write that article and just it'll all be about.
What was the part where he brings Westbrook into it at the end?
He's
was
like, "What
that?
do
He
you
just says
think?"
like, yeah, what do you think?
Well, the joke was our U.S. gymnastics team was so dominant that Kevin Durant's thinking about joining the
yeah, that
team
he said he
now.
wants to join him next year. Yeah.
I don't think you'd start on that team, Kevin. What do
Right.
you think,
It is,
Russell?
yeah. What do you think, Russell? He said, I don't think he'd start on that team. What do you think, Russell? And then Russell's all like,
Yeah,
I want nothing to do with
yeah,
this.
I'm
Like,
not touching that one.
yeah. So Patriots won Game of the Year. I mean, that's a no-brainer, right?
Edelman took a
Took a
jab.
dig at Manning. I love that. That was good. He said, "Hey guys, Peyton Manning's killing tonight. Whatever." Like he's,
No,
he's
he
really
literally
tonight.
says, "You're killing tonight."
Yeah, you're killing
Yeah,
tonight.
well, we're indoors.
Yeah,
So.
and he kind of looks around and he's like, "Oh, we're indoors though." So like,
Edelman
that's a great shot.
Mini social second, social media second, just in this room.
Okay,
Funniest Patriot,
I think Tom Brady is.
I think it's Julian Edelman.
I think they're both really funny.
Between Burger Time,
Burger Time's funny.
no, see, here's the thing. I think other people are funny for Tom Brady, and he's really good at doing like the Peyton Manning thing of like
Going and hosting.
reading like other
SNL.
people's stuff.
He says that he handles his social media accounts.
Oh yeah, but I think he has I think he gets input.
Right,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
Julian Edelman is genuinely
Oh,
off the
like
cuff
off the
funny.
cuff funnier. Oh yeah. Right, that's true.
Like with his like when he does like the pizza reviews.
Right, but making fun of Barstool
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
If you asked me like 3 years ago, it was Will Fork.
Will Fork's
A funny
dude.
motherfucker.
Funny
Yeah.
dude. All right, so Aaron came up with a very good question this week. Which Boston sports team is going to win a championship next? And then I was like, well, the Patriots, that's easy. Everyone's going to fucking pick the Patriots. And then we said, all right, let's follow up on that. What team other than the Patriots
I was going to
is going
say
to
the
win a championship?
Revolution actually.
I had a guy. Did you see that?
No,
A guy commented and said, no love for the Revolution. I was like, do you think they're going to win the championship next? He was like, no. I was like, okay.
they were in the
Like,
they
all
were
right.
in the championship.
Yeah, yeah.
Like what,
last
like
year,
last year or
two
the year
years, something
before?
like that. Yeah, they were competitive. So I was like, do you think they're going to win? He's like, well, no.
Juice the
I was
balls.
like,
They should juice the balls.
They
in
should juice
soccer,
soccer
too.
balls.
Yeah.
Boom.
We had that
Get
discussion
going.
today too. That's another sport that I can't watch.
Yeah,
Soccer. Like, I know you say the World Cup's cool.
it's the best tournament in the world.
It's fucking.
They need to make it so you can score from midfield, like legit half.
Mm-hmm.
Like the moment I'm at that,
I should be able to like.
I should curry shoot from fucking midfield.
I should
2
be able
points.
to
Yeah.
like.
They
I
should
be
have a
able to-
2-point line.
2-point goal.
I should be able to Muay Thai kick
Yeah.
someone in the shins in
Right.
soccer.
I think you guys really are missing out on taser ball. You still haven't gotten into that. I,
have
feel
not
like
even watched
What's the
it.
Boston sports taser ball team? Do they have
they
one?
don't have one yet, but Robert Kraft
Buying in.
buying in on the Overwatch team.
Oh yeah, that was
$20
my
million.
that was my
He did a thing a while ago, right?
did
yeah
that months
closing
ago.
time a
Right,
couple months
it's an
ago.
official deal now. They have, I guess, a team. Like
Oh,
they
nice.
have a squad.
I'm rooting for him.
Rich Keefe of WEI put up.
Is playing?
Hey, I would like to nominate myself, Ryan Davey from the Door podcast, and tried to
Does he
like
wanna
get
get
his
paid
team.
for
it was
it,
like
yeah.
Mac and Goo, and then one of the guys from the Boxers podcast. And but he's like, so if you need a Boston team, like we're here or whatever. But I guess they're not on the roster, so that's
He should try and become the caster for it though. Like you know how they
right.
do like local sports broadcasts.
right.
They should Rich Keefe should
They
be like,
have-
hey, I'll do the Boston sports broadcast of the Overwatch team.
They have an Overwatch League Facebook live stream,
Yeah.
like when the games are going on, and he should do that for the Boston ones.
For the
like,
Boston one. He
narrate
should
them,
be
right.
the local.
Right.
If he knows
That's
that he
a good-
knows the game, I'm
That's a
guessing.
good guess.
No, he plays all the time.
Yeah. So
Right. Yeah. So the social media second this week did come down to what of the three other teams, the Celtics, Bruins, Red Sox, are going to win a championship first. So not this year or whatever, but the next to those three teams.
I lost another vote.
You lost another vote.
Did you pick, who was it? The Sox?
The Boston Red Sox won 9 votes to 2 votes
Landslide.
to no votes. Celtics were second, Bruins were third. Red Sox are
I wanted to say Bruins, but I'm like, oh man, they're in that weird, you don't know what the fuck you have.
right.
They have a new coach. It's just kind of weird.
Yeah, I think if the Red Sox don't win the championship this year,
Yeah,
the Celtics are
it's
probably
the
next.
Celtics,
Yeah.
yeah.
I would say. I think that's their best chance of winning it if they're going to win it before the Celtics.
I don't know why, though.
Any luck that fucking Price just opts out at the end of the year? Cross your fingers, hope.
Yeah, I would hope.
If he pitches good.
Yeah, like he just decides, like, oh, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. I hate Boston. Like,
If he pitches good, he'll probably opt out. 'cause
now,
he
would
can
you
get more
now
money.
as a teammate, would you make him uncomfortable? Like, just like, I don't want you around here anyway. You don't like us. You don't like here.
Right. I don't know. I mean, you said why do I feel that way?
Do the Red Sox get worse? I mean, they have Sale locked up.
You have your
Their young core is not going anywhere.
Right. No, that's a good point. I don't know. I feel like
I mean, other teams, maybe the Yankees get better. Maybe
Yeah,
there is
right,
a lot
yeah,
of turnover in MLB.
Yeah, the competition. Yeah, the competition changes. You know, like a lot.
There's a
every
very
year.
active trade deadline, and
I would say that you're right. I don't really have a legitimate reason to feel that way. I just feel like the Sox are very up and down. You know what I mean? Like 2013, they win the championship, then they don't make the playoffs for 4 years straight.
they're
you know
the
what I mean?
kings of worst to first to worst to
Right,
first to
exactly.
worst. Yeah.
So, and maybe they go, first to worst to first. Maybe they win it in 2 years, and the Celtics might not win a championship in the next
I
2
think
years.
we had that conversation once where, like, would you prefer consistency
or
just win one and then you're the bottom of the league for 5 years,
Right.
and then you win one, bottom of the league for 5
I want
years.
consistency.
I want consistency.
Yeah.
I want to see it every
Would you
year.
rather consistently be like the second best team, or would you rather win one and then?
If you
Would you rather consistently be like the right now Pittsburgh Steelers?
give me a chance any day.
Or would you rather be like the Seahawks? Like, no, they're consistent.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you get like a Seahawks or
It's hard to do in football because usually teams don't just fall off a fucking cliff.
Like the Giants.
yeah,
Giants win a
Giants.
Super Bowl 4 years later.
Would you rather? Yeah, but they're still pretty consistent. I mean, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
They usually
but they
make the
missed But they
playoffs.
missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like 3
So
years
would
in
you
a row.
rather be the Giants or would you rather be Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh.
Well, I mean, if I can
without
guarantee myself a
Roethlisberger.
championship, like with the Giants,
Yeah.
then I would take the championship if that means the Steelers are not going to win one. But if you take like the Steelers from 2000, what was that, like 10? Where they beat the Cardinals?
Like, I think what's his name is a terrible fucking head coach. He's never had a losing season.
Tom Coughlin.
He's awful.
Oh my God,
not
Tom
Tom
Coughlin.
Coughlin.
Where am I?
Mike
These past
Mike
2 weeks-
Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin. Jesus.
Never had a
Tom
losing
Coughlin.
season. He's an awful head coach.
He is a bad head
Now,
coach.
would
That's
you?
true.
Okay, so
That is true.
this is a good argument. Would you like to? Would you had been okay with being the Buffalo Bills losing 4 Super Bowls in a row?
No, God, no.
Oh, there's one other thing I want to talk about. I know we're doing social media second, but did you hear the rumors that Calvin Johnson might come back and play for the Raiders?
Yeah, they were trying to talk him out of retirement.
What the fuck is going on there?
Like, he's interested in it, but he's still under contract with
Yeah,
Detroit, technically.
Detroit will never let him out
It was
of it
like the Seahawks
without a
deal
deal.
with Lynch.
They'll have to make a deal
Right.
though.
Yeah, but I think
They're going to want something.
there's like a
for
mutual
him.
respect between Seattle and Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
I don't think there is between
The Lions
Detroit and Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, him just
Plus,
saying
why
it.
would you? If you're going to come back and play, Detroit's actually good now. Like, they were
but they're
in the
not better than
playoffs
the
last year.
Raiders. They're not better than the Raiders.
I don't know.
I think you have a better. I think you have a
Calvin
better.
Johnson.
I think the Raiders are loading up for no
I was going to
reason.
say, I think you have a better chance in the NFC.
That's cool that you. That's cool. It's
Seattle's
really,
the only team you really got.
It's really awesome, Oakland, that you got like an old, really good running back and an old, really good receiver, but your defense still sucks.
Yeah, but I think they're going to be better.
But
remember,
the
they
defense is
drafted
still,
well.
Remember, they were going to be the 1 seed.
But that defense is still not good.
There's good players there. Khalil Mack is probably the best defensive player.
If
in the
you can
league,
get what's his name reinstated,
yeah,
if you can get that kid back,
Alfonso or
No,
Smith.
Isn't
Yeah.
Bruce? Isn't Irvin over
Alfred
there? He used to play for Seattle.
Bruce Irvin went there.
Yeah.
Is it Alfonso Smith? Alonzo Smith?
Fuck
Alfred
you.
Smith?
Fuck you. God damn it.
I don't know. He's another idiot that just can't keep himself on the field.
Alden?
Yeah,
Alden Smith.
Another
Yeah.
idiot that can't keep himself on the field.
Yeah, right. He's a fucking dope, but super talented.
No.
Like
That's
him
what I'm
and,
saying. If
him
you-
and Von Miller, when they both came out as rookies, were like, who's better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it was like,
The
Alden
one that
Smith.
doesn't fuck up a lot.
Yeah, Alden Smith. Or Von Miller never said he had a bomb at an airport.
Yeah.
So
Well, Smith
there's
also was
that.
like really close friends with Vernon Davis, and Vernon Davis was like great, and then fell off a cliff because he wanted to paint.
right.
So like you
Is
get
that the tight end?
Yeah,
You know, he's like good again.
yeah. No, I know.
And, like,
'cause he
Washington is the
I
other
thought he
tight
went,
end.
I was gonna say he went to Denver, and then he went to.
Yeah, he's in Washington as like the other tight end when Jordan Reed is eventually hurt.
That's true. Yeah, and he did have a pretty good year last year, didn't he?
Jordan Reed, shouts out Southeastern Connecticut.
That's right. Norwich,
New London
New London. That's right.
was the starting quarterback.
Maybe we can get Jordan Reed on the podcast.
We probably could.
We
I don't know
probably
what
could.
he does to our demographic as a Boston sports fan, and he's a Redskin. So
But he's a local guy.
Yeah.
yeah, well,
Local hero.
Where did he go to college?
how do you feel about the Redskins? I don't know anything about that team.
What do you think about the pay?
I'm
But
probably-
I think if you could bring in an NFL player,
You do it.
You'd find a way to
you do.
talk to him.
Like fucking Colin Cowherd says, if you can get Jimmy Butler, you get Jimmy Butler. Like, of course you make the trade. Yeah. So if you could get Jordan Reed,
Or
you
no,
get
or
Jordan Reed.
nobody.
Or nobody. Yeah.
Imagine that. Just
or
like,
me.
no, I think we're good, Jordan. It's cool.
We're all right.
We don't need your help.
I think we're just going to stick with us
Yeah.
for now. So thanks.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You could take you and your millions of Twitter followers somewhere else.
We don't need them.
Don't need them.
So, yeah, that's it. Red Sox most likely to win a championship next. Calvin Johnson, huh? That's interesting. I
A
didn't hear that.
little bit of recency bias right there at the Red Sox.
I think so too.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. I think that if you did that poll while the Celtics were the number one seed
Oh yeah,
next
yeah.
year, like this upcoming year, you know, what I mean,
Yeah.
Celtics are number one seed going in, like they sweep the first round. And be like, that Celtics going to
Well,
win the
LeBron
championship.
is still there, so
Still
you might
there,
have
yeah.
people are like, I don't know.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
That's a book.
What do you got for Balk Talk, bud?
My Balk Talk is Brandon Marshall walking out on an interview on WEI today. I get why he did it because I get why he did it for the simple fact that like I get why some people don't like to answer questions, but at the same time,
You shouldn't do an interview if you don't like to answer questions.
well, that's the thing.
I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna do a monologue. Don't ask me anything.
Well, here's two things. It's not the local team
yeah,
that you play for.
yeah.
So they're going to talk to you about their local team and what because you were a former Jet, have said about your said team. So, but I just feel that like you go on the radio and you've had such a horrible history. How do you go on and when somebody asks you a simple question about, hey, like, do you feel like, what was it about race, and do you feel that the league went too hard on Brady, or too easy because he's, you know, what is your take on it? Because you proclaim that the league's too tough on the black players, and then he came out with a comment saying, well, to be honest, it's rough to be a black person in America, a black man in America, and which I don't disagree with, but
Ray Rice beat the shit out of his wife. He wasn't even going to get suspended.
Yeah,
They were going to let it go.
Yeah, so he basically says to him like, listen, if we're going to just sit here and talk about Deflategate, I'm not sitting here and I'm going to drop the mic and I'm out of here. He's like, you want to change the subject? You want to ask me something else? And I don't like Kirk Minahan, but I'll give him props. He just looks at him and goes, hey, so you know, the climate, you know, of the league, and like how, you know, do you feel like, you know, you got some good chances here, considering, you know, your history, you've gotten another chance to, you know, all your chances to play in the league, and, you know, you're with New York, and he's just like, if that's what we're going to talk about, I'm out of here, and just like takes his mic off, puts it down.
Wait, what's the problem with that last question?
Because he doesn't want to talk about his spousal abuse. He doesn't want to talk about being sent to 3 different teams. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to talk about that.
Yeah, then you need to say that before you start an interview. Like, they usually ask you, like,
Okay.
is there anything that's off limits?
So my side conversation to that, watching the video and seeing how no one spoke to him before they got on, like, started the show to talk to him.
Yeah.
So there's no, like, hey, we're, like, how we start, before we start our show, we talk for a couple minutes just to kind of get that little comfortableness to talk about stuff.
Yeah.
They don't do that at all. 2, I get it. You're on the radio. He's probably just the next person you want to talk to, and then you're going to get him out, and somebody else is going to take his chair. I get that.
Yeah.
But you got to at least introduce yourself. They don't really do that. And then,
Or at least on camera.
from what you can see in the video, he's just sitting there and no one's talking to him.
Yeah, like we don't.
And he's
know
making his own
beforehand,
coffee.
but- right.
And then the producer of the show is walking in and out of a door, and you hear it slamming in the background. That I took away as they were very the people that work for the show, very unprofessional in their aspect of, you're interviewing someone and they're trying to ask him questions and you're making too much noise behind them.
Yeah.
That I thought was.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed by Brandon Marshall because I actually like
I fucking hate him. When I saw somebody somebody posted it that we talked. Chad Dizzle Davis posted a thing about it and asked us, like, what we thought of it and this and that, and he said he doesn't like him, and I just wrote on there, he is who I thought he was.
The thing is, when he makes public appearances, when he talks, usually he's like super eloquent and educated and makes valid points.
He was when he was talking about the whole situation with the Jets and all that, and like when he left Chicago before.
I just didn't think
the football conversation was very. There's good insight.
So I'm disappointed that he was just like, I don't want to talk.
As soon as he gets offended, though, he turns.
Oh, he shut down.
Yeah,
he totally shut down.
Like, he talks about he's diagnosed bipolar. He talks about mental health issues all the time. He goes
and he's a speaker.
When he goes on like ESPN and all that shit.
Yeah, but it's not ESPN.
He has a TV show as a host.
I think he's a very good talker, in general.
Yeah.
So I'm a little disappointed that he just wouldn't touch on these things.
And that's what Minahan made the point too after like that, because during his rant he says, players were kept in a box too much. We're not allowed to do a lot of our things. And he was asked about if he was close to signing with the Patriots or whatever, and he said no. What was the fact that you wouldn't probably be allowed to do all your media things?
Yeah.
Part of your decision, or whatever. He says, yeah, absolutely. He says, because I feel like as athletes we're kind of put in a box and you're not allowed to, we're not really given the opportunity to do a lot of things. So with my interactions in New York or whatever, he's like, I'm allowed to do that stuff. So Minahan says after he walks out, he says that he doesn't want to talk just sports all the time. Like he doesn't want to just be a sports player. So we're talking to him about this other stuff, the news that he's in. I think they're fair questions or whatever. And it was discouraging because I do like Brandon Marshall. I know how much you hate him. I don't love Brandon Marshall. I don't root for him or anything. But I think that I think he's gotten a bad rap.
I'm sorry. Like when you think of the three guys that were like not best friends, but two of them were basically your two best friends in the league, Chris Henry and freaking Chris Johnson. They're both humongous fucking spousal abuse cases. Constantly.
Chris Johnson is? I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't think Chris Johnson.
Not Chris Johnson. Ocho Cinco.
Oh, Chad Johnson.
Chad Johnson. Sorry, not Chris Johnson.
Was he friends with Chad Johnson?
Oh, yeah. And Chris Henry.
Right.
He was broken up about Henry because I think they were college teammates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just saying, and then you have all these cases against you. All they said was, do you feel fortunate, because they were talking about race and this and that, like, do you feel fortunate being somebody of your your color, your stature, and whatever, you've gotten a second and a third chance in this league with all your with all your past history. They don't even say domestic violence
for being accused of what you've been accused of.
Yeah, in your past history. That was it.
Right.
And he didn't want to talk. He didn't want to talk about it at all.
Right. That's what you're just like. I'm done. Like as soon as that question comes, done.
Minahan he makes a comment, and I'm like, if you watch the video, Minahan makes a comment like, "Oh, you just throw your coffee." He didn't throw his coffee.
Right? No,
I will stand up for him on that. He didn't throw his coffee, and he tried to help him hold up his laptop, and they were like, "Dude, if you're leaving, just go.
Right?
We'll deal with it."
Right?
I get it. He wasn't a dick about that, and I will admit that he didn't stoop to that level at all to throw his coffee or anything. He just made a comment as he was walking away. So you guys want to talk about fucking Deflategate and something that happened a year ago? I'm not talking about that shit. And it's like, you made a comment about it. They haven't had an opportunity to talk to you since whenever. They're asking you. You're sitting in front of them, and they even said, he goes, "You guys want to talk about Deflategate and Tom Brady?" He's like, we talk about Tom Brady every day.
Hey, that's what we do here. We talk about Tom Brady.
That's what we do here. What else do you want us to talk about? We're not gonna. You don't have a big baller brand shoe for us to talk about. What the fuck, man? You know.
I disagree with Brandon Marshall's point about black players getting punished more than. Like, I understand, being a black man in America, you get treated differently. I'm not disagreeing with him on that.
Right.
Specifically in the NFL, I don't think black players get punished worse than white players. And I think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I think that when you watch it, if there
Can
was...
you name a case where...
No. The only thing that I can think of is, like, granted he, like, basically dealt with all of his stuff outside of court and never got, like, charged 100%, never got, like, cases... Convicted of anything. Roethlisberger, like, they never touched him.
He got suspended.
For 6 games.
And it dropped down to, like, 2.
Ray Rice wasn't going to get suspended.
I know, no, I know. And then they went to, like, 2, and then the video came out.
Yeah, and then Roger
like,
I didn't see the video.
I just think, I'm not trying to, like, shit on your point. I'm just saying, like, I think there are cases of guys that got away with shit, but it has nothing to do with black or white. They're just fucking guys that are too important to the NFL.
Terrell Suggs poured bleach on his fucking wife in front of his kids.
Yeah. Right.
It was out in the news.
Right.
Never got suspended. Ezekiel Elliott might not, Ezekiel Elliott, this is a case for him, I guess. Ezekiel Elliott might get suspended, and he was cleared of all charges.
Right.
By the court.
And so was Roethlisberger.
And the NFL,
not cleared, but
and the
he was never
NFL
found guilty.
still might suspend him.
Right. But that's the same thing with Roethlisberger.
Yeah, that's
never found guilty.
It shouldn't be happen. It shouldn't happen. If you're cleared in the court, you shouldn't be suspended.
You know who's one guy that never...
Marcus Morris, by the way, to touch back to that, he'll probably get suspended by the NBA, whether he goes to jail or not.
Yeah.
Just for putting himself in a situation.
Fucking trade,
right?
God
no, but
damn
it'll probably be if he's not guilty, he'll probably be 2-3 games.
This is the one case. The one case Brandon Marshall has is the punter for the Giants. His former team.
He got right, because he didn't get suspended except for then he got like 2 games.
He never got suspended.
The kicker, you're talking about the
then
kicker.
Then he got 2 games, and then now he's out of the NFL. Then they just straight up
they released him, right, and he just doesn't have a job anymore. Yeah, Josh Brown.
Yeah,
right.
Ray Rice doesn't have a job in the NFL.
Arrested like 13 times.
Josh Brown.
Josh Brown he's got should have been suspended.
Insane.
And come on, he's not like, and I'm not trying this to be stupid, but he's not Adam Vinatieri. He's not winning multiple Super Bowls for his team. Why would you help that guy at all?
Josh Brown. Let's just put this on the record. Josh Brown arrested 13 times domestic violence. His wife had a restraining order against him.
Right. Yeah.
Got suspended half as long as Tom Brady did.
I forgot
before eventually being cut.
I'm watching.
Tom Brady allegedly took air out of a football.
I watched a guy. I forgot who it was. It was somebody on. It was either ESPN or Fox Sports 1, and they were talking about how they shouldn't. I forgot who it was. It was a former professional athlete. He used to be like the league. They're like playing representative of
like player association leader or whatever.
Yeah. And he was talking about how he doesn't agree with them just cutting ties with the guy. Like, you should help him out. And I'm like, okay, first time the guy has like a substance abuse problem or whatever, you want to help him, like the WWE is, how many times did Scott Hall have to go to fucking rehab? It was like 7 times.
Right.
They paid for it. If you want to do that, that's fine. The league, they should also put some money aside to help out players. They're being that famous and playing a sport that physically abusive to your body.
Right.
You should be able to like get help if you can't handle the pain anymore.
By the way, a lot of teams do provide that.
Yeah,
extra security, rides home, stuff like that. Yeah,
but if you're got a guy that just keeps doing it, and no matter what he does, he just can't stop beating his wife.
Right.
No, I don't need to fucking help you anymore.
Right, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. You don't deserve the money. Right. You don't deserve the accolades. And that should be a wake-up call that you have a problem.
Right. By the way, I'm pretty sure the head of discipline for the NFL is a black man. It's the safety for the Eagles.
Oh, you mean Dawkins?
No.
No, not Dawkins. Oh, man.
He's
the one that Troy Vincent.
Troy Vincent.
Yeah, Troy Vincent. Yeah.
Is a black man. He's in charge of discipline.
Right.
Okay, so now,
And
at
that's
this
what I
point,
like.
you
I like
have
when
that.
Minahan said, "Do you believe that there's a guy in the NFL discipline committee that goes, okay, we have a black guy,
Yeah,
okay, and this
he
guy's
says
a white guy,
Yeah.
okay, like what are our options? Or, you know what I mean? Like, and then he just says, "Do you believe that that's happening? Like that they say, okay, black player trouble. Okay,
He's like, I don't want to talk about that.
Here's our option sheet. You know what I mean? Like, okay, what do we do here? Or white guy, okay, you know, like fuck off. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. You're right. There's a lot of examples of black athletes in the NFL. I'm not saying one's worse or whatever, but there's a lot of black athletes in the NFL that are playing football right now that probably should be in jail.
How about this?
And there's a lot of white athletes.
There's a lot of professional athletes in every sport that shouldn't be playing, but they are because they play a professional sport.
Right.
Plain and simple.
Think about all right, Roethlisberger.
Yeah.
Got suspended for 6 games.
Yeah.
And he got knocked down to
Through his appeals process, right? Yeah.
To whatever.
There was like 3 or 4 or something. I can't remember.
Whatever.
Yeah, maybe it might have been 2. I don't know.
Greg Hardy, suspended for however many games, knocked down to 3.
Right, 10 to 3. Mm-hmm. Right.
Tom Brady.
Terrell Suggs has never been suspended. Has he ever been suspended for
No.
a game?
I don't
Terrell
think for
Suggs
any
not a
domestic
fucking-
stuff. No,
nothing.
Terrell Suggs never got suspended. Greg Hardy beat his then girlfriend, then threw her onto a pile of guns.
Yeah, on a futon in his
A sofa filled with guns.
Right.
Yeah.
Told her he was going to kill her with them, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
it's just-
those are the guns I'm going to kill you
Was
with.
convicted,
Yeah.
Right.
and then overturned because she didn't show up.
Because she didn't show
He
up.
paid her off.
Right.
Yeah. Or he threatened her
But was
with money.
convicted. Like, Roethlisberger wasn't even convicted.
Right.
He was.
Right.
He got one less game than Tom Brady for more probably than not being
Right.
generally aware of a
Right. In the
scheme to
least.
take air out of a football.
In the least. Which is
So-
crazy.
My point,
Yeah.
Marshall's a fucking dummy.
Yeah.
He gave the lead.
yeah,
he gave everyone.
disappointed in
He
Brandon
gave
Marshall.
everyone a reason to go. Yeah, you're still an idiot.
Yeah, you're dope.
I'm
Like
just-
you could
I'm
have said,
disappointed.
"Listen, guys, like I'm not."
Christian Fourier was commenting on it after the show, and like because they did the 10 to 2, afterwards, and he says, "Did he not know who Kirk and Callahan are? Like they're the 2 pit bulls of our radio station. Like those guys are the 2 biggest assholes on our station."
It's also a New England sports talk show,
Right.
And you made comments about their team they haven't been able to ask you about,
Right. But he's like, wouldn't you think that, like, maybe Glenn Ordway, Christian Fourier, Lou Maloney wouldn't ask those questions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe Dale Holley probably wouldn't ask those questions either.
Kirk Minahan.
Why would you go to on Kirk Minahan's show and
Kirk Minahan's and Jerry Callahan used to be Kirk Minahan until Callahan just got older and John Dennis softened him up a little bit. You know what I mean? But Callahan was known the way that Minahan is, as the big pit bull, fucking ferocious guy on EEI. And now that's Kirk Minahan's role. You're going against the 2 biggest a-holes on the network. Like, you got to know who you're talking to, too. Because, like, if you know hey, these 2 are the rowdiest group, like, maybe I'll just go after I play and I'll talk to the 2 to 6 show. You know what I mean? Or whatever. That's just, you got to know your crowd. You got to know who you're dealing with, too.
Also, you set it up beforehand. Hey, listen, these are some subjects I don't really
Right.
want to touch on.
Right, exactly. Hey,
And then if they
we
want to be a dick,
then
then you just like, dude, we talked about this.
We said we weren't going to talk about it, right? Exactly.
Yeah, and then
right.
now you're doing it and you're going to keep on, I'm not going to do it. Then that's, you totally save face.
As a man that has done one professional interview on this podcast with a amateur wrestler, we know what we're doing.
Yeah, totally.
And you don't. Imagine if Mr. Spellmont was like, and we said, "What's next?" She was like, "No, I don't want to talk about it."
If she was that butthurt about not
right?
getting it.
Yeah, right. It's just that could have happened. What do you got for Balk
is this
Talk?
breaking news?
Huh?
What?
What?
Is this breaking news?
No.
Oh my god, do we have the scoop?
Is this the?
No. We do later.
Yeah.
We
We
do
do
later.
have. I do have some very exciting news. If you've seen our Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook account, or Joe's eyes, if you've seen
And
Joe
then-
posting eyes around Facebook.
And then Dave.
This isn't empty eye threats like Isaiah Thomas.
No, this isn't eyes. Aya.
This is straight up legit.
These aren't empty eye threats. These are real.
Isaiah. I wish he would change his Twitter handle to EYESAIAH, like Isaiah.
With the quotations
Yeah,
around
because it's
eyes
like
part.
Isaiah. What's your Balk Talk? What do you got?
My Balk Talk is Tom Brady not winning NFL Player of the Year
That's crazy.
He wasn't. Was he even in the running for it?
I didn't watch the ESPYs, so I don't know.
Me neither. I don't know if he was nominated.
I don't know if they do nominations or if it's just like, here's the winner. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's.
I think there's nominations, but it's for like the athlete of the year, like male athlete of the year. So then that way there'll be different sports and they can show it.
But this is the thing. Was he was nominated for male athlete of the year, right?
No, I don't know.
Because how does that make sense?
I know the Patriots were nominated for 5 things last night,
And they won one.
Can someone, look that up. See if he was nominated for male athlete of the year, if you can. Because if he's nominated for male athlete of the year,
right,
but not NFL player of the year, how does that make any fucking sense?
Right.
Unless Aaron Rodgers was also nominated for male athlete of the year, but if Tom Brady is the only one out of those two,
right,
that's
he may have not been nominated.
That's like, I know everyone doesn't like Kanye West,
right,
but when he hopped the stage,
right,
at that award show, he had a point.
He did,
because Taylor Swift won Female Video of the Year,
right,
over Beyonce, but Beyonce won Video of the Year,
right.
How the fuck does that make any sense?
How does that happen? Right.
If you have the Video of the Year and you're a female, then you should have the Female Video of the Year.
Right. Yeah.
He was all right. So Tom Brady was up for best championship performance, which Durant won.
All right.
Best male athlete nominees: Sidney Crosby, Chris Bryant of the Cubs, Michael Phelps of Olympic swimming, and winner Russell Westbrook.
So he wasn't nominated.
So he wasn't nominated.
No.
Or for male athlete.
Best player NFL was nominations were Tom Brady, Ezekiel Elliott, Khalil Mack, and Matt Ryan. Obviously, Rodgers won.
Yeah, So he wasn't nominated for that.
How does Aaron Rodgers win?
Yeah.
Because everybody likes his discount double checks.
Even if you want to say if you want to say Tom Brady shouldn't win,
right.
How does the MVP not win?
It should have been Matt Ryan.
Yeah,
right.
Matt Ryan was
if not Tom Brady.
Matt Ryan was your MVP, and he beat Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs.
Right. Yep. Well, it's because he does the discount double check.
Aaron Rodgers, the chucker of the Hail Aaron. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like don't start hailing Aaron. Don't do that.
And I like how he gets credit for throwing Hail Marys. Like, you throw into a spot.
Right. Yeah, you just throw it as far as you can, and that's it.
But he's done it more than anyone. Yeah, he's just throwing to a spot.
Right. I mean, he's fucking good at it.
Yeah.
For whatever reason.
He's really good at throwing to a general area.
Right. That's crazy.
His wide receiver won comeback player of the year.
Jordy Nelson?
Yep.
Nelson, yeah.
Nelson had a really good year.
He did.
But
I have him on my keeper team.
Here, actually, I'll read those stats real fast.
Yeah, let's do this.
I don't know how Aaron Rodgers wins. Even if Tom Brady loses, I don't know.
Because you know what it is?
Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers, these numbers you have, or is this?
It's,
Okay,
hold on. I
want to know why? Because your point exactly. It's the fucking ESPYs.
Yeah, they do. They hate ESPN. The ESPN hates Tom Brady.
Right.
They hate New England.
What's crazy is
they employ fucking Rob Parker, so that tells you one thing.
So is Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1 is turning
the
into
only guy that they...
All right. Don't get me started on Fox Sports 1.
But doesn't Teddy Bruschi's an analyst for them, right?
ESPN.
And so is Woody there.
Yeah. Yep.
ESPN left up...
Damian Woody.
ESPN left up the Chris Mortensen tweet that was proven false.
Right.
I think it's still up.
I think it's still up.
I think you can still
they
go...
had more on the radio. They had more on ESPN. They said, don't you think it's like... Now he's like, he apologized for the tweet.
No.
Like, do you take it down?
But left
and he
it
was
up.
like, well, what's the point of me going back and taking it down now? I mean, everyone
wrong.
knows what the deal is.
Because it's wrong.
Like, because it's still false info.
Want to know what the point is? It's not right.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It's
all right, so this is from Jerry Thornton's article on Barstool Sports.
Right.
Brady had a higher passer rating. This is all compared to Rodgers. He had a higher passer rating, a better QBR, which is ESPN's own stat. That's supposed to be like the best stat at measuring how good a quarterback is.
Yep.
Like, this is ESPN's like, hey, we invented the QBR.
Right.
It is the one stat that tells you who the best quarterback in the league is. Tom Brady's was better.
They also made that to make Tim Tebow look good.
Yeah.
But
so he had a higher pass rating, a better QBR. Their touchdown percentage was practically the same. he had half as good of a interception rating as Aaron Rodgers. Like it was
Right.
half as bad. Or
So if he
whatever.
throws a pick every 2% of his throws, it was more.
He had a better
Right,
interception
right.
percentage.
Right.
He threw for more yards per attempt, 20 more yards per game, and set the all-time record for career wins and won a Super Bowl.
And also,
And he beat the same Atlanta Falcons defense that Aaron Rodgers got blown out by 23 points against.
Also, he broke the all-time touchdown interception ratio record
Yeah.
by a lot, 27-2.
Yeah, he
right.
only
Am I
threw
wrong?
2
there?
picks.
Yeah, 2 picks all year. I mean, in 12 games, sure, but that still averages out to 3 for the
Whenever
season.
anyone argues,
Which is crazy.
whenever anyone argues that Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, the one thing they throw out that it's really hard to argue against is
He doesn't turn the ball over.
is passer rating and interceptions.
Right.
Tom Brady had a better passer rating and less interceptions.
Right. Yep. And you could even say, oh, well, of course he had less picks. He only played in 12 games. Well, he also had a less interception percentage.
Yeah, his interception percentage was lower.
right. That's unreal. That's crazy.
And even if you hate Tom Brady like the ESPN does, and you
Right.
don't want to give him any stats,
The pinnacle
like,
of Brady hatred,
any
yeah.
any accolades, Matt Ryan should have won.
Yeah, you don't get
Matt Ryan should have won it. How is the MVP
right. Not the best NFL player.
and Super Bowl runner-up,
Right.
he beat the guy that you gave the NFL Player of the Year to?
Right.
Because he's not exciting.
He was the MVP.
No, what my point is, we all talk about Matt Ryan. Who talks about Matt Ryan?
Oh
Yeah, he's always like 4 or 5 on my list.
The-
Like, you know, I mean, he's good.
The
Like, he rounds out
offense,
my 5.
the offense that he helmed
Right.
was a record, was a historic offense.
Right.
Should've-
No, you're absolutely right.
To be honest, he should have won.
Yeah, he should have won.
He should have won.
If you're not going to give it to the guy who won the Super Bowl and broke all sorts of records and is,
Right.
widely considered at least a top 3 quarterback ever.
And who broke a very important quarterback stat this year. That touchdown to pick ratio thing is very.
Not only
that's a
that,
very
first
important
quarterback
thing.
to ever win 5 Super Bowls.
Right.
The only quarterback.
Right. The only quarterback. Right. Four
And
finals
one of
MVPs or
only,
Super Bowl MVPs.
is it one of only like 2 other players to win 5 Super Bowls in
Right.
general?
Yeah, that's true. It's crazy.
He doesn't win.
That's nuts. That's
Dude,
insane.
ESPN does not like him. It's
like so obvious.
And I think it has to do with his the straight up New England against Chris Mortensen for the wrong report, and Brady won't do fucking interviews with them. He denies them access whenever they want to do whatever.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's like, no, I'm not going to do.
especially now.
I'm not going to do after the game interviews.
Right.
I'm not going to do press conferences with just ESPN people. I'm not
Right.
going to do.
No, I'm good.
I'm not
Yeah.
doing that shit.
Right.
I'm good.
That's true. Good for him. He should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, fuck him. Like, he should be scorched earth about this. Like, be
Yeah.
a fucking woman
Which is
scorned.
funny because
Chris Mortensen tried
fucking
to ruin his career.
ESPN. Here's the funny thing, and I try to play it. This is how I play it in my head. ESPN's fucking. I mean, in the grand scheme of America, we can spit on it because fucking Bristol is only like an hour and a half away.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's in New England,
Right.
but they're slowly trying to move everything to fucking
right.
L.A.
Well, not only that, a lot of people who are high ups at New England at ESPN because it's centered in Bristol is a lot of them are like Jets fans.
And also,
They have
Which
like,
is
they have a
fine,
lot
but
of
you
Jets
should-
fans.
that's like
on
needed.
staff.
That
my point
medium
is,
range.
you shouldn't be like
right.
scorched earth on Brady every time something happens.
I mean, you're talking about the network that had a person on it talk about taping the Rams walkthrough, even though it's not true.
Yeah, it's not true.
And then they realized they said it and issued an apology at like 2:00 in the morning when no one's watching ESPN.
right. And like years later,
Yeah.
too. Like,
No, well,
years
they did it years ago. Issued an apology at 2 a.m.
Right.
Then a woman correspondent on ESPN
Yeah.
did it again. Brought up the Rams walkthrough,
and then they did it again.
And again,
I
they
gotcha.
apologized at like 3 in the morning.
Unreal. Unfucking real. Believe me, I was on a real like fuck ESPN binge for a while. I was even like fuck the NFL. Like I watched the Patriots and the Patriots only. Like I don't check in anymore. Like we talked about that last week. But it's I think the product sucks.
Yeah, no, I
still
think
also hate
somebody
the
asked me like, what would you do if like you ran into like Roger Goodell at the grocery store?
spit on them.
No, I wouldn't do anything. I don't want to meet the fucking guy. You are the most overpaid piece of shit
Spit
on
on
the
him.
fucking planet, and you don't deserve a fucking dime you get. Well, I'm not going to waste my time on
I try and
either.
honk his nose.
Like, is the shirt real? Is the shirt real?
What's going on here?
See, that would be
You
perfect.
really do look like a clown.
That'd be perfect if you had the shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Man,
god!
it's like, you fucking baby. My Balk Talk, we're going to keep going numbers here. This is a pretty statistical Balk Talk here. Terrence Knighton,
Oh my
Pot
god,
roast?
Pot roast?
Dave's boy.
right? I was excited about Terrence Knighton.
Yeah, you really
I
were.
liked him.
You
Right, I
really
do.
were when they picked him up. You were like, oh my god, and then they cut him before the end of the preseason.
Tweeted 4 days ago in regards to NBA contracts, like the chaos. That's probably like around James Harden's extension,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
July 9th, like right around there. So it's probably in response to that. Last year, NFL. This is a quote from Terrence Knighton's Twitter. Last year, NFL took in $13 billion in revenue. The NBA, $4.8 billion. Miss me with that 53 versus 15 man roster crap next. ... You can't make a point about something and just say, don't try to argue the best argument.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's absolutely...
We only need to roster a team that's 5 times as large.
Right.
So
That's the reason. Like, that's why. It does sound crazy when you say they only made $5 billion and fucking James Harden's going to make $200 million in the next few years and Steph Curry's going to make $200 million in the next few years and all these Joe Schmoes are making $100 million. Sure, that does sound nuts. But $4.8 billion is 37% of $13 billion, right?
yeah.
Okay. 15 players is 28% of 53 players. So they have roughly a quarter of the roster
Yeah.
and they make a third of the money. That breaks down to at least an 8% difference where everything has to get paid. So all the revenue it becomes an 8% overpay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So at a $13 billion, right, let's just say every penny that they made went to players.
Yeah.
There's, 1,696 players in the NFL. 32 teams, 53 players roster,
yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
something like that. The NFL average player would make $7,665,000, right?
All right.
If you
A
took
year.
all
Yeah.
$13 billion and just said this is all the no coaches, no stuff, whatever. You know what I mean? Just all that revenue went back to the players. The NBA,
Pure socialism. Just
Right.
everyone gets the same amount.
everyone gets the same amount, right? The NBA would make $10.666 million. So that's a 30% increase, right? So all these numbers seem to kind of tie in here. There's a 37% difference in money.
Yeah.
They make 37% of the money. They have 28% of the roster, and they make 30% more money on base if you paid everyone out
Yeah.
every penny. No shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the salary cap is roughly $100 million for the NBA. It's like 99 and change or whatever. And the NFL says 140, which is 2/3 of the salary cap, which means that there's a third of the extra money for a team, for a league that has 72% more players.
Yeah, but that's not even it. That's not even all of it. So the NFL coaching staffs are bigger in the NFL.
Right.
Facilities are like more intricate.
Right. Yeah.
In the
More
NFL.
unique and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need a practice field. You need more equipment in the NFL. You only need a basketball.
Right. Yeah. You need a
In
hoop.
the
Yeah. You need
NBA.
a hoop and a court.
Yeah.
Hoop and a ball. Yeah.
So it's just I don't know. It's
so crazy to me that as soon as I saw
do
this,
I think NFL players should be paid more? Yes, because they
risk
put their
the most.
they risk
Right.
the more.
They risk the most,
and
right.
they just have a bad union. It's Terrence
Right.
Knighton can talk all that shit. It's on the players. They
Right.
agree to bad deals.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing too. When you're trying
Baseball
to feed,
has a really good union. NBA has a really good union. The NFL doesn't.
and when you're trying to feed 32 teams with 53 mouths with $13 billion, that's a lot different than trying to feed 30 teams with 15 mouths. You know
You're
what I
not
mean?
even talking about practice squad guys who still get paid.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They're not even. They don't count on the 53-man roster.
Exactly. Right. So I mean, it's like
And even if they're making the minimum, they're still making good money. It's not.
at first I looked at it and I read the tweet and I'm like, oh my god, you can't become. It's 15. There's 15 people. And then the next sentence is miss me with the 53 versus 15. I'm like, No, but that's why.
argument.
That's the answer.
Yeah.
Like, you want an answer as to what's happening? Oh, that's right. They
Get
have
a better
27.
union,
Right.
and don't ever expect as much money.
Right. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
I don't disagree with his overall, like, hey, they're making too much money. Mm-hmm. I disagree with him trying to compare the NBA to the NFL.
Right. And, like, where are we at with, like,
to be honest,
David
like,
Price?
Okay, if
Contract.
If
What are
you
we talking
if
now?
he really wants to, like, go after somebody, go after the fucking asshole.
David
that-
Price. Wait till you see Bryce Harper's contract.
This is going to be
Yeah.
a $400 million contract. Like, it's
No,
going to
but-
be crazy.
Look at the fucking asshole that runs the league.
Right.
You know how much Goodell makes a year?
yeah,
Right.
that's not.
Take that money and give it back to the fucking players.
Right.
That's my point.
Exactly, yeah. And
Like-
that's, I mean, are we going to get a...
I mean, $44 million back into 1,000 players is like a drop in the bucket. But
well,
$44 million for one asshole that does
Right,
that
yeah,
fucks
yeah.
everything up.
yeah, but
Right.
I mean, if you spread it all out, it's,
Yeah, but that's still... Yeah,
That's
still
still-
for
yeah,
15,000.
That pays your practice squad.
I'm not trying. I'm not trying to
your
argue
suspensions.
that
Like,
Goodell is not paid more.
Oh, he definitely is.
That's what I'm
is.
saying.
Yeah.
That pays your practice squads.
Right.
Every team's practice squad.
Yeah, really.
Basically.
Yeah, because they gives you
They don't get
more
paid-
than... It's $1.5
they-
million bucks or whatever.
What?
A team.
Yeah,
Almost,
they.
you know what I mean?
Oh,
It's like
for the
1 point.
whole practice squad, like they don't get. They
That,
get
no, I'm saying if you
yeah.
were to take the $44 million and then give it to
Yeah.
each team, that's
Yeah,
more
but
than $1 million
Well,
to a team.
Think about that. So, they made what? How much?
$13 billion.
The NBA
4.8.
4.8. James Harden got 200 something million.
Right.
Steph
Over
Curry,
5 years.
Steph Curry got 200 something million.
Right.
That's like
It's
half of
$500
a billion
dollars, right, over the next 5 years.
for 2 players.
Right.
Think about how many players in the NBA.
Right.
You know what I
There's
mean?
like 450 something. Yeah.
It's not like it's not like every NBA player is just making bank.
Right.
You have half of your fucking.
The average NFL player makes $1.9 million. The average NBA player with these updated contracts makes 6.8. So they make a lot more money, but it's because $4.8 billion divvied up with only 450 mouths to feed, as
Yeah.
opposed to $13 billion with 1,400 mouths to feed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's fucking
And again, that's not counting practice squad players.
right. Yeah, right.
You got to keep up with the Joneses.
Right.
You got to have that. You got to have the Lexus.
Yeah.
You got to have the fucking Rolls Royce.
Right.
You got to have the fucking Lamborghini that you can't fit in because you're too fucking tall because you're an NBA fucking center.
Right.
And you need to have
You
the
get it
fucking
custom.
$7 million home that you can't afford the taxes on in like
In 5 years. And then
5
fucking-
years,
yeah, right.
and then you're fucking
Bankrupt.
you're fucking Antoine Walker with
Right.
a gambling debt, and you're fucking broke. And
Have
you
you
have
heard
to claim
about Mike
bankruptcy.
Tyson? Like how much money he was spending?
Oh,
his-
yeah.
I heard a thing the other day. He had like a $10 million house he bought for his tigers. Like only the tigers lived there. They just fucking ruined the house and he couldn't sell it.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
He
what
bought a
was it?
$10 million house for his tigers. Just
That's
like
awesome.
we're gonna put the tigers.
Well,
over
and he
there.
lived in Connecticut. He had them in the yard.
Right. Yeah.
He kept them
Yeah,
out in the
50 Cent
yard.
owned that house. It had like
Yeah.
3 nightclubs in his house.
Well, he had one. 50 Cent put 2 more in.
Yeah.
Right.
And a whole strip club in.
Yeah.
And then he
Why
sold
not?
that house.
That's
Yeah.
how you do it. But yeah, it's just crazy to me. And that's I don't know if I said it on the podcast or not. We were talking, but I think like either last week after Steph Curry's deal, I said he's not even going to be the highest paid player by next year.
Yeah, little did you know.
Sorry, next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So James Harden, that deal's and that deal's going to be beat next year.
Yeah,
you know what
it
I mean?
will.
Like there's going to be a $300 million player in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
it's
it's,
like it's going to be
you know who
nuts.
it's going to be?
Yeah.
Kevin Durant.
I don't know.
I think it'll be Russell
It'll be Kevin
Westbrook.
Durant.
Let's say Russell Westbrook
I'm gonna
or
say
Anthony Davis.
Carl Anthony Towns.
He might be. That's a good one too. I'm trying to think of who's a
Could be
superstar
Anthony
that's
Davis.
like on his second deal, kind of like hit that 28-year-old deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Possibility.
could be Davis. Davis is widely known as like a top 5 player, or Kawhi. Kawhi might go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I mean it's always gonna, and like you said with baseball, like are we gonna get a Terrence Knighton tweet like, oh,
think about baseball.
miss me with the 53 versus 27 man
They
roster,
have,
bro. Like
they have bigger rosters than basketball.
right.
And
crazy.
Bryce Harper's gonna make
$400
fuck
million,
tons load.
like 350, 400.
And he's gonna be locked up for like the rest of his life.
Right. It's gonna
He's
be a
gonna
fucking-
make $500 million.
Right. That's going to be nuts. His deal is going to be crazy.
It's gonna be like a 27-year, $500 billion
So he's
deal.
going to be a Yankee.
Yeah, he will be.
He said, no,
he
he
already
said,
said that he
just
doesn't.
said-
He hates being in New York.
yeah. He said, I don't even like being in New
You
York
know
for
what
more
the,
than
you know
3
what
days
the
at a
new
time.
rumor is?
What's that?
Chicago.
That's
That
a
makes
possibility.
Sense. That makes sense.
The Cubbies.
That makes sense.
Him and another young kid who's
I mean, I'm okay.
I know they're both up.
at the
Is
same
it Giancarlo
time.
Stanton?
No,
No, there was a thing.
I want him
younger,
in
another
Boston.
rookie. Is it the kid from Baltimore?
Manny Machado.
Manny Machado.
Yeah,
They both like the Cubs or something like that.
Yeah, because the Yankees were supposed to get both of them.
Yeah.
That was the talk.
But see, I'd like that for the simple fact that
It's in the NL.
spend all that money and then you have no money to assemble any more players.
yeah, but
There's
I
no
know there's no
cap.
cap. I know there's no cap.
Yeah.
But
Well,
like,
they'll just say fuck it. We'll pay the tax. We'll win championships.
Theo Epstein is the man. He is the fucking man.
what's his name's playing like shit this year. They just made a big trade for starter too.
Lester.
Lester's playing horrible.
Yeah, he is. They traded away their 4 prospects, their number 1 pitcher and number 1 hitting prospect, and they
Damn.
just got Jose Quintana.
Ah, all right.
Jose Quintana.
From where?
I don't know.
I think it's the Reds.
Was he on the Reds? White Sox, I believe.
There you go. Yeah, White Sox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there was a big trade with the Whites. Yeah.
Yeah. So Jose Quintana was now a Chicago Cub. All right, so yeah, that's
So they
my box
literally
talk.
sent him across the street.
Right. Yeah. Hey, fucking there you go. But yeah, it was like their number 1 rated prospect offensively and pitching that they gave up in that deal. So that's
Nice.
We'll see what happens there. All right.
Don't act like you're not impressed. It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, me too.
All right. Joe, what is your... Not mad at it.
Going back to the ESPYs again.
All right, this is big ESPYs week.
Yeah. Fuck Peyton Manning, but his
what-
Super Bowl thing was
I
funny.
was gonna say, weren't you on a rant like a week or
yeah.
two ago? About
He's still
how-
a cheating scumbag, but his Super Bowl thing was funny.
Really funny.
So
That was really good.
Joe is going to go into business with Peyton Manning.
You think they would ever let Tom Brady host the ESPYs?
No,
Never happen.
No.
because he wouldn't do it, and they would never offer it.
Well, it's because they're, Peyton Manning can do no wrong.
Right. Aaron Rodgers will host the ESPYs
Yeah.
in like 5-10 years.
All he do is make
He'll
discount
be
double
doing
check
it. He'll
jokes.
be doing it
That's
like
it.
over and over again.
Right.
But his Super Bowl thing was really funny. It was
Right.
like how I saw a bunch of people post it like, this is how I was reacting during the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, guys, we can change the channel." Like, and they're
Hey,
like,
House-
"No,
House
no,
Hunters
no."
is on.
Yeah,
It just showed-
it's over. It's
it
over. He's
sh-
like, "No, it's not." He's like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
Peyton
I
Manning.
forgot you guys are NFL experts. What do I know? I'm just Peyton Manning.
The whole premise was Peyton Manning's first Super Bowl party since he retired.
Yeah.
And he said, "This is my first Super Bowl party. I've never had to throw one of these because it's like, Peyton, you weren't in the Super Bowl every year. You could have
right.
had a fucking Super Bowl party."
he was in what 3, 4?
He went to
He went to
4,
4,
he's
1,
2.
2.
Yeah.
2 and 2.
500 record. Come on.
Yeah. Suspect at best. I do like the point where
Cheating Peyton Manning with a 500
where
record.
he's like, "Hey, it's tough to win a Super Bowl in the twilight of your career. Only the great ones can
Only
do
the
it."
great ones can do it, yeah.
Oh man! But,
But anyway,
it took you
yeah,
through
the whole
game.
premise was Peyton Manning throwing his first Super Bowl party, and it's a replay of like the Falcons Patriots Super Bowl and how he's reacting like while the game's going on.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to vacuum.
Well, at
It's like-
least it's closer now. It's
Yeah.
good for the economy. People
Shows
watch
how-
the commercials.
How happy he is in the first, like, yeah, I'm real happy about it. Don't really have a dog in the fight, and then like the Falcons score, and he's like, "Yeah, go Falcons!" And he like unzips his sweater, and he's got like a Falcons jersey on.
Oh god!
And then
That was good.
it shows his reaction get worse as the Patriots come back. He pretends to vacuum and is like, "I'm gonna be ashamed if I hit this core and shut the television off."
Do you guys want to watch House Hunters?
He tries to switch the channel, and
They're like, "Put it back."
Yeah, put it back on. I love that.
Yeah.
That was a really really funny.
it was
skit.
probably the funniest thing of the night. Besides,
the Kevin Durant comment.
that was
That
funny.
was so good.
Awkward, man. That
Oh
felt
yeah,
weird.
no, it was
And
rough.
let's just pump the brakes
That
on.
laid on thick.
Let's just pump the brakes on giving Peyton Manning, sucking his balls about how great he is. He didn't write those jokes.
No, he didn't write the jokes, but the balls to do it.
Right, yeah.
Knowing that he's widely known as the guy, like Durant's always been like
He's widely known as the guy who used hearing aids his rookie season to cheat, or widely known as the ex-Tennessee quarterback who shoved his dick in a lady's face.
I kind of feel like you've forgiven him now. Now with the Espy's comments.
No. Widely known as
The
the guy who
SB's
had
commercial?
HGH shipped to his house during his best season as a quarterback, and then fell off a cliff when they started testing for it. but I'm not saying anything.
Couple, mine not mad at it
Peyton Manning.
is Marcus Morris.
Oh, you're not mad at Marcus Morris?
I'm not mad at Marcus Morris. I'm
really mad. Am I not mad at it?
Yeah.
You're
mad at you're not
next
mad.
week, my Balk Talk is my I'm
be
not
the
mad
fact
at
that
it.
you had Peyton Manning because you're not mad at it.
My Balk Talk is me for having Peyton Manning.
It's going to be Isaiah Thomas again, too. His Twitter game, strong as fuck. Danny Picard from WEEI on his...
Well, you said his name wrong.
Danny Picard.
Danny Picard.
Yeah, Danny Picard. Danny Picard.
Danny Picard.
He has... On the Danny Picard show, I'm not sure if it's actually on the show or the podcast that he does, he was quoted as saying, Isaiah Thomas is the reason Al Horford is a Celtic. Isaiah Thomas is the reason Gordon Hayward is a Celtic. Isaiah Thomas is the reason we're calling Boston a destination. He's not the truth. He's not the answer. He's not the process. Isaiah Thomas is the reason. So he kind of coined the reason for Isaiah Thomas' name.
Why is Morris?
So Morris liked the tweet. Isaiah Thomas retweeted it and responded with, I like, quote, the reason. That's dope, LOL. And then Marcus Morris retweeted and then followed up with, nothing but love for Detroit. Thanks for everything. Time to get. And it's 4-leaf clovers, so it's like time to get lucky.
Yeah.
But he had 17 of them on his thing,
Yeah.
So like 7, time to get
championships.
Hashtag Boston's got a dog, right? And then, hold on. This is what I really like because we talked about Crowder bringing a tough edge.
Yeah.
In those situations where Marcus Morris is either coming off the bench or he's just on the floor with Marcus Smart, Jay Crowder, Aaron Baines, whatever his last name is.
Yeah.
That guy's a fucking human Viking. Have you seen him?
I don't know, but he should really play up the Bane part of his thing.
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, if it's Baines, he should be Bane. He did wear the mask for a while. Not the Bane mask, obviously, but he wore the eye cover, the nose protector.
He needs to perfect that voice and then
just like oh, hey.
Was he Kermit the Frog?
I thought it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Oh, hello, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Pretty good. That's a good Bane. That's
Robert
a good
Archie,
Bane.
you're the one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, man. Then he followed it up with God willing. So imagine that lineup, right? Smart, Baines, whatever. Smart, Baines.
We're going to go with Bane.
We're going to call him Bane.
We're just going to call him Bane. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So Smart, Bane, Crowder, Marcus Morris.
Yeah.
God willing, no injuries. I will play in every game next year as a Celtic. I am more than ready to contribute. Hashtag the Beantown Bullies. I fucking love that.
The Beantown Bullies?
The Beantown Bullies.
I like it too.
Not just as a nickname, but a mindset. Like, that group is ultra tough.
So did Marcus Morris. He's notorious for hitting people in the back of the head. So
right, so
Beantown Bullies. Beantown Bullies.
Club you in the back of the face.
Danny Ainge knows what he's doing.
Right.
I mean, he was voted dirtiest player when he played.
That's true.
I like guys who hit in the back of the head.
Yeah, why not?
It's the most efficient.
I just think he's going to bring a real edge to that. Whether he starts, comes off the bench, whatever, I think you're going to feel like the rim protecting thing, like, it may not be. He's not a great shot blocker. He's not a great rebounder for a guy that's 6'9", but no easy buckets. You know what I mean? I feel like he's going to be one of those guys that sort of like Bill Laimbeer and the Bad Boys of Basketball, like, oh yeah, we used to just say tap, tap, and that meant no more easy buckets. We're just going to take everyone out that comes in here. And I don't know if there'll be a literal tap-tap, but I think that group of guys is going to make it very, very tough on people. That's going to be some very physical brand of basketball.
So he tweeted time to get lucky, like the 4-leaf clovers.
Yeah.
So the Celtics should, for their My Sweet Caroline, should play Get Lucky by Daft Punk.
Right.
That's what they should do
I stayed up all night to get lucky.
Yeah.
Right.
Up all night to get lucky. That should be their seventh inning
What kind of makes
stretch.
me mad is that I wish he put 18 clovers.
Oh, like, hey.
Like, hey,
calling my
we're
shot.
trying to get lucky, but
Yeah, but
we're
what-
going for 18.
Calling my shot, shoot or shoot.
Right.
But
yeah,
didn't we
Puncher's
learn,
punch.
shoot your shot.
Didn't we learn from, what was it, who was the guy that came?
Jason Terry.
Jason Terry that literally got the tattoo of the championship on his arm.
Right.
Well,
And
shoot or shoot.
Then they didn't
Shoot your shot.
Shoot or shoot.
Shoot your shot, Jason Terry.
Maybe get that when you make the playoffs. Like,
Right. Yeah.
You're a little bit closer.
Well, I mean, you see those stories every year.
I know,
and it's always a Dallas Cowboys fan who gets
Right. That's-
tattooed
oh
like,
my God,
this is
fucking-
the year.
Yeah.
We're winning the Super Bowl.
I'll take it this year.
It's always a Cowboys fan. Always.
I am really high on the Marcus Morris trade. I don't know if that's been evident this episode or not.
Oh, you only spent,
Right.
45 minutes defending it.
Exactly.
But I'm with you now. Fuck Avery Bradley, fucking bum.
Yeah, right. And
Fucking Marcus Morris.
I don't even feel negative towards Avery Bradley. I just feel like it's a deal that had to happen. And
Marcus Morris, Danny Picard.
Danny Picard, yeah. And
The reason.
And the reason, Isaiah Thomas. What do you guys think? Do you think
I think you should
catch?
spell it like REI, like the candy. Reason candies.
Oh, yeah. Or like Riesling.
We're not in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Whatever.
No, I like.
What's
the
the fucking
reason.
matter now? We do Sweet Caroline.
It'd be really shitty. It'd be really
The hell's that
shitty.
matter?
It's about a girl, not about the
Oh
fucking
my
state.
God.
It'd be really shitty to give him a cool nickname and then him just like now bounce to the team for a max contract next year, like
Right,
another
just
team.
Hey, but by the way, I am.
But
the
I'm
reason.
gonna
still
keep the reason.
I'm still the reason.
Okay.
I know. I
Thanks,
know
Marcus.
it's not about the state. I'm just saying it's not about the Red Sox at all. It's definitely not about the
Thanks.
state of Massachusetts.
Takes Danny Picard. Still the reason.
Yeah, I'm still the reason. That is a pretty good nickname. I just don't think it's going to catch.
Someone else called him like the something midget.
That might take off.
It's kind of an insult.
I liked that one.
Yeah, gosh, that could.
The leprechaun. That's what I would call him.
Yeah, leprechaun works. They sent him 2 years ago to the lottery because they were like, "You're a lucky leprechaun. You're a lucky leprechaun." So Wick Grossbeck sent him to go win the ping pong balls.
That
back
sounds
2 years
heightest.
ago.
That sounds heightest.
Yeah, it's pretty. That's a pretty heightest comment.
Boston, fucking
Yeah,
city of
fucking
heightest.
heightest, racist, prejudiced bastards. Aaron, what is your? I'm not mad at it.
My I'm not mad at it is AJ Styles of WWE won the U.S. title at a house show at Madison Square Garden against Kevin Owens.
When's the last time they did a like off camera title switch?
The NXT title 2 years ago.
What is a house
Samoa
show?
Joe. I'll explain after.
Non-televised.
Samoa Joe wrestled Finn Balor. And
and Shinsuke took it too when he went to Japan again or Australia or whatever. Yeah. But I mean, like what about the WWE? Like the
that
main
is
roster?
the WWE.
No, I mean like the main roster. The main write-up.
It's been a long time.
Yeah. That's tough.
Essentially, the house shows are basically like any match you want to see, Joe.
Yeah.
Like you want to see Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles, and they're not having a program. Or they might be starting a program, but they haven't really started it on TV yet. But this is going to be a great combo. They started on house shows to see how they work together. And they put sometimes just random matches together to give the crowd a show. Like, oh man, we're going to put our four best wrestlers in a tag match, and we're just going to separate. You're with him, go. And just have a great match. That's what they do at house shows.
So, for him to win it in a house show, does that not mean something happened? Like, we need a reason to take this belt away from this person?
No, because that guy that he took it from is like one of the top 3 guys.
So why would they not
for the
televise
CEO of
that?
the company?
So I think
Triple H loves him.
Right, yeah.
Who did he take it
To me, Kevin Owens.
Kevin Owens.
To
Kevin
me,
Owens
it's kind of
doesn't
breaking-
physically have the body. That's
Right.
the big issue with him.
He's a heavier
He's a
guy.
chubby
Why
guy.
would they not televise a match, though?
I think that they're
They
trying
don't
to break.
televise a lot of matches.
I think a lot of
why
houses,
would,
but
why would you not televise a championship
Yeah,
match?
there's a title change. Why not have that on TV? I think they're trying to break the fourth wall.
Well, I think also most people and a lot of reporters and everything that have reported on the WWE for the past like 15 years, they're like, I've never seen a title change at a house show. It hasn't happened since like the 80s or early 90s. They don't do it anymore. It's to bring people to go, well, if it's not on TV, it's not going to matter. They're not going to change the title anyway. Oh no, there's a possibility that could happen. I need to go. I should go to these
Try
house
and get
shows.
more people there.
Right, because then you hear like, holy shit, like, so now let's say they had a house show coming to fucking Providence on next Friday.
Yeah.
I'd be like, fucking Kevin Owens lost the title to AJ there, and then they're fighting again. You know what I mean? Like, their main event in the card again. Maybe Kevin Owens wins it back or whatever, so now there's a draw. And also I think that this is just a personal take, that the reality era of wrestling, where now like everyone tweets and everyone knows everything that's happening, and it's all, we know what's kayfabe, we know what's fake, we know whatever. I think that, like, going to a house show, like you said, it's boring if there's no excitement.
No, there could be exciting matches,
but the title draw is not there.
You know the title match is never going to
right.
end the way that you want it to.
No, but it makes sense if you're trying to drive ticket sales to be like, hey, this shit could happen,
Well, the other thing is it's a response to what I brought up last week, Kenny Omega winning the U.S. title for New Japan. They want to... Now, AJ was the leader of the Bullet Club when he was wrestling in New Japan. Kenny Omega turned on him, and I'm saying that with parentheses in the air. All kayfabe, part of the story. Mm-hmm. He's leaving. The tradition in most old school wrestling is if you're leaving the town, if you're leaving the territory, you drop the title to the next guy. So AJ was leaving, you drop the Bullet Club to Kenny Omega. You give it. You're kind of trading. Okay, you're pass the torch to the next guy. That's what they essentially are trying. I think that's because I want to say it's in a year. Omega's contract's up with New Japan. He's already had talks with WWE 2 years ago. He was supposed to be the surprise.
Throw a boatload of money at him.
Well, that's the thing. He has stated he loves New Japan. That's his home. He publicly stated after not signing the contract with WWE that I want to stay here. I want to see where this goes.
Right.
So I think that they're just trying to play that up. I think it's a response to him getting the title. And I also think that they're very similar.
Right.
So they put it on a guy that a lot of people are liking right now. It might be a push for the match in a year.
A year from now, right? Yeah, like WrestleMania next year, who knows? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or 2 years, whatever. However, I don't know when his contract's up exactly.
Yeah, Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Because that was what he was supposed to be. AJ was the Royal Rumble
guy that
was supposed to be Kenny Omega.
Jesus, yeah. So that's exciting, though. That was cool. Like,
I just thought that was.
I think
cool
I shared
thing.
that story on the B.S.N group or whatever because it was pretty interesting to have the actual title change there, and it's a decent build too. Like you know, what I mean, like it's between two, like you said, very talented names.
It's two of the maybe three top names on SmackDown. Right. I don't consider Randy Orton and
no, I don't either.
I know a lot of people do, but I don't.
Yeah.
I consider him upper mid level.
Right. Yeah, I thought he was great, but just not now.
I've never found him intriguing.
I got you.
Another just to add to the what are we on right now? Is this I'm not mad at it.
No, I'm not mad at it.
Just to add a fourth, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's suit.
Yep. Said fuck you on it.
That was amazing.
He has a pinstripe suit that says "fuck you" as the pinstripes.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that either. Well, I'm not mad at any of that interaction.
Did you see the controversy going on?
What they called him? He told him "dance for me, boy."
Yeah,
that's
nonsense.
Yeah,
he's not saying it because of that, dude. He's saying it because he likes to.
He's fucking Irish, dude. He doesn't understand that you're not supposed to say "boy" to a black guy in the United States. Like that's a.
He said, they're going to sing to me, and you dance, you hear me, you sing. And he's having the whole crowd, they're doing that fucking, whatever.
I need the whole crowd to chant, fuck the Mayweathers.
Fuck the Mayweathers on the count of three. 1, 2, 3.
Fuck the Mayweathers.
Those back and forths have been amazing.
No,
really
there's been a fourth. It's not a back and forth. It's just been a Conor McGregor fucking assaulting Mayweather.
See, he won day 2. Day 1, I thought Mayweather was better.
Yeah?
I thought Mayweather was better.
Conor was better when he was talking about, like, he came up in a fucking tracksuit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's like,
you really do need this money, huh?
You're 40. You're 40 years old. I love that. Dress your fucking age, mate. Why you got a school bag on? Why are you wearing a fucking school bag on stage? You can't even read. Dude, it was like, oh, man, that was brutal. But I like when Mayweather was doing the shit where he took the Irish flag and was posing with it and stuff. There's some, you could see McGregor got a little tight. Like, he got a little tight with those. And when Mayweather was like, I'm not even talking to him. Dana, you're rich. You're the one I'm in business with. I don't fucking fuck with this guy. You're the one with money. We know what money is, or whatever he said. And you could see McGregor just sitting there like pissed because him and Dana aren't great. Like their relationship isn't great, so he's had to use him as his promoter, even though they're not really on the best of
Well,
terms.
it's the only way he could get the fight.
Right.
Well,
UFC
the only way
had
he
to
could
sign
get out of
off
his
on.
contract.
Right.
But don't let that fool you. Connor runs the shit there.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Dana thinks he holds the cards, but Connor is
Right.
the UFC is tanking, dude. Like
It's bad.
they're not.
They put out too many things.
And they don't
Yeah, it's
promote.
really
They don't promote
oversaturated.
any fighters except for Conor McGregor, and
Right.
Conor McGregor's not fighting in the UFC right now.
That's true. Yeah.
It's like if you guys want money, you need Conor McGregor, and Conor McGregor's gonna be like, all right,
Right.
you want money, then
Right.
my next fight, I better make fucking $20 million.
Like who maybe
The most he's made is only $3 million. That's the most he's made off a fight.
Right. Right.
Until he started this boxing thing, he's gonna make fucking $100 million.
It's just crazy, yeah. And that's what Mayweather was using against him. He was like, you're a $3 million fighter. What the fuck am I even bothering with you for? He's like, if you really have so much confidence that you're gonna knock me out, bet your whole fight check. And Mayweather was like, no problem. Or McGregor says, not a problem. No problem, I'll do it. And he's like, yo, I make real money. You know my middle fucking name, bitch, or whatever. And he says, you owe money. You owe money to the IRS.
Fuck the Mayweathers.
Oh, man. But I want to see day 3 is today, right?
I think so.
Yeah, something like that.
They were in what, New York or Toronto or something.
They're
They were in
gonna do
Toronto,
one. They're gonna do one in like I think it's London.
Yeah, they're going to the UK next.
And
yeah.
I was listening to your favorite guy, fucking Shab, and he was like, "Does Mayweather know what he's doing? Like, does he know that London is like a scooter ride away from Ireland?
yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no, he's walking into a fucking
it's gonna
hornet's
be
nest.
fucking insane.
That's
there.
going to be nuts. Yeah. He definitely, McGregor definitely won day 2 in Toronto. He definitely won that. That was awesome.
He'll win. McGregor will end up on top for the spectacle.
Oh, of course. Yeah, right. Yeah, he'll win that. He'll win the.
There's no
the
lose. There's no losing.
Right.
He can't lose this.
Right.
Be like, even if he loses, he'll just be like, all right, fight me in the cage.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that's what I said to Dave, and I was talking to a couple of people at work. I was like, would you, as McGregor, wouldn't you flinch the foot a little? Like, just to tempt him? Like, is he really going to throw that kick at me?
Just to scare him. Like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Keith even went as far as saying on EI the other day that you fucking throw the kick, just don't connect. There's nothing saying you can't throw a kick.
There
at
is-
that's
someone.
illegal.
There's language in the contract that's like he can't do certain things.
Yeah.
I don't know if it means like I don't know if it's
don't
I
think
saying
mean, just stomp.
connect,
I just
like-
think like you're running, like, you're
just
coming at him and
intentionally throw it
stomp
like
your
over
foot.
his head.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just like, like start to bring it up and pull it. You know what I mean? Like, just
do like a
that.
Shawn Michaels, like
Yeah, just kind of.
Yeah, just stomp the foot like you're
go
ready
in the
to
corner
right.
and start hanging out. Fucking-
But I mean, if you can
tune up the band.
if you
Yeah.
can get that knee and like little flick the foot up, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like at him, like that's holy shit. You know what I mean? Like you can
Just
kick
get
in
him
the
to
fucking
flinch.
head, like right.
He's just gonna forget real fast and like leg kick him in there and be like, all
Yeah.
right, fight's over.
Yeah,
Be
fight's
like,
over.
fuck, I
Yeah,
paid $100
yeah,
for this.
Yeah, what the fuck?
That's what I
Fucking
said. I was
Irish
like,
piece of shit.
Well, I was gonna say that's what it is. There's language in the contract. If he throws a kick,
Right.
he tackles him, anything.
Right, right.
I
want to. Yeah,
I know
I'm
you
interested
guys.
to see
I know
that.
you guys
How
said
funny
like,
would it be
there's
if he
no
just-
way,
he's
but
like-
he loses out on tons of money, and then Mayweather.
Yeah,
can
no. When you
sue
said
him.
he loses money, I was like, no, he's not going to lose money. He's going to make
he's gonna
money.
How funny
He's
would it
gonna-
be?
No, he's not going to leave the. If he tackles Floyd Mayweather, he doesn't leave the fight with less money than he did walking into it.
I think he walks out with
But
nothing.
he doesn't gain money.
He's going to still gain money.
I think he
But
gains
how funny
a
would
little
it
bit,
be
but
if
it's
he,
going to
if
be
he
a.
bet?
Who makes that money? Because a lot of that money comes from the pay-per-view sales. So does
I think
it
it
all
goes
go
to
to Floyd?
It's
all
like
of it?
it's like in the UFC, if you miss weight,
Right.
like 30% of your fight purse goes to the other fighter automatically. So you
Right.
you can't win as much money as you did.
Right. But he's still going to make money, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
well, he's going to make money
Yeah, but-
anyway because he's still going to go back to UFC
But
and
then
be
the
like,
other.
all right, give me.
Well, I was going to say then the other promoter is it Mayweather's team promoting it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
So-
Showtime in
so-
conjunction with
Yeah,
Showtime.
yeah.
So they could sue him.
Right.
For that, and
Right.
then I'm not saying he walks away with fucking $0 in his
Right.
pocket,
Yeah.
but he walks away going, "I would have had 100
Right,
million
yeah, right,
versus."
How funny would it be if he bet his fight check and then
Lost.
and then tackled him and beat the fucking shit out of him in the middle of the ring?
Right, right.
And be like, all right, my fight check is 0 anyway.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's true, yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Oh, man. Yeah, that was pretty... Those have been really intense.
The only thing I don't want to see is at the end of the fight them hug and be like, "Oh man, like no, end it where he's still a piece of shit and you don't want nothing to do
Connor
with it.
is usually pretty respectful to his opponents after he wins, though.
To me, it's so obvious. This is all kayfabe. Like,
No,
this
I know,
is
but
fucking
come on.
so scripted. Like,
I
it's
just
so,
I have
such a
no
stick.
respect
That's how you
for
know
Mayweather at all.
wrestling is so different now. Because up until now, I'd never heard terms like kayfabe and bump.
Oh, you
and
take a bump. Yeah,
all
yeah.
those fucking
Right.
Face.
Yeah, face
Steel.
heel.
being
Yeah,
real
face heel.
stiff
Right.
and stuff like
Stiff.
that.
Working stiff.
Working stiff like that. Those are all terms like
Right.
I didn't know when I was watching wrestling.
See, but like I
I
watch
feel like they're common terms now to
Okay.
anyone who watches wrestling.
Yeah, like if you wanted like a perfect example, like who works stiff, the most notorious guy that like did like he was a horrible worker and everything he did hurt people.
Goldberg,
No, he wasn't
Brock
horrible.
Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
He hurts a lot of people.
He works. He does work very stiff.
He
But
wants to hurt people.
But people like working with him because they think he's not a bad person. He's an
he is.
asshole,
But he is a bad person.
He is what he is. He doesn't beat his wife, so I guess that's
So
like,
he's not on Aaron's list.
He's not a horrible person.
I'm almost done with this.
But no,
Allegedly.
like the guy that everybody loved, Ultimate Warrior, notoriously
Oh,
horrible
yeah,
wrestler.
Yeah, right.
Took liberties, didn't
also
give a flying fuck.
terrible person.
Yeah, he was pretty messed up.
Is that the guy who killed someone?
Was Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Snuka,
He
yeah.
killed his girlfriend, and then they covered it up for years, and then he was finally on trial for it, went to jail for it, and
But the
then
Ultimate
died.
Warrior was known as a bad dude, was he not? Wasn't there some kind of scandal with him?
He had a scandal. He actually came to Yale and made a speech, and he made not racist comments, but they were very like
Did he call?
very rough,
All
very not favorable to like Jews.
Is he an old white guy?
Yeah, well, yeah.
All right, that's the most shocking thing.
But
I've
he's
ever heard.
also-
Old white guy makes technically unfavorable.
Well, the point is I think
Terms.
you know what? He didn't make comments about Jews. It was about I
In
think
the
it-
water's wet and fire's hot segment of the day, old white guy could be potentially racist.
I think he had issues. I think he made an off-color comment about gay people.
It would be more shocking if he wasn't racist.
Next week, I'm going to do a Bane Randy Savage conversation about the B.S. Nerds podcast. That was the intro.
As the intro.
Just do both
Don't know
impressions.
how I feel about that.
Just do both impressions.
Have a
I
conversation
will
with
give
each
you.
other.
Just like
I will
it.
give you the Randy Savage. I'm not
Okay.
going to give you the Bane.
Yeah, the Bane's pretty good.
I'm not going to give you the Bane
I
yet.
don't think it sounded like Kermit the Frog.
Social
He didn't even
media
say
second.
Rubber Ducky. So
Social media second. How was Dave's Bane voice?
that's the
Yay
one
or nay?
tomorrow
That's
for
the one, yeah.
the rest of the next week.
That's it. There you go. All right.
Everyone's going to vote nay.
Really?
I'm going to vote yay.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You have one vote.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I didn't think it was as bad as Aaron made me feel about it. Developed a complex about my Bane
I'm
impression.
okay with it.
It's closing time, nerds.
All right. So for the fucking biggest news, right? Is this fair to say?
It's
biggest
the
news-
biggest news on our fucking podcast.
Maybe in the world.
in
This is
the
probably
BS
the
Nudes
biggest-
universe.
The biggest nerds universe.
No, in the world.
In the world.
In the world.
I got no problem with that. There's nothing more important than what I'm about to say.
I would say at least in the Boston media,
Right.
it's definitely the biggest
Aaron,
news.
Aaron,
I'm not trying to fucking oversell it here,
Aaron.
right?
in the world. The biggest news that has ever hit the world.
There's like Kennedy was assassinated.
Yes.
Right. There's
We need positive news, though.
There's-
Don't just
there's-
do all
there's-
bad
There's
things.
a couple here. Like the Miracle on Ice, right? That's a big story.
You are
There's
like-
like 9/11. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god, a plane just hit the house. What the hell? And then there's like
You know what?
the Patriots won the Super Bowl after being down 28-3 with more than just 17 minutes left in the game. That's crazy. Like that was a big deal.
Those are all behind this upcoming news.
That was like I dealt with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm over it. This here,
This
is like
right here.
this shit here. I don't know. This
No. This shit right here.
It just feels like there's like dramatic. You need it. Bring the horns out. Man, You guys ready?
Essentially,
Ready to say
Dave has pulled off the biggest coup in our podcast history.
I'm not ready yet.
No.
No.
We're gonna run through all the sound effects.
Just every sound effect we've ever used here.
Do you have a drum roll?
I do. Michael Holley is going to be on the podcast next. New York Times bestseller WEI host, formerly on Around the Horn, right?
He was on Around the Horn.
Around the Horn. Author of Big Poppy, or Poppy, My Story. Author of Brady Belichick, the book. Author of War Room, Patriot Reign. Host of The Dale and Holley Show. Boston sports talk legend, right? Mm-hmm. Fair to say?
The winner
of
also our
the
first
winner.
social media segment.
Right, the very first one. Michael Holley voted best WEI.
By the way, when he comes on, let it be known I voted for him.
Right, we all did.
I definitely did.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you lose that.
I voted for him, definitely.
Right,
If
yeah.
I could go retroactively,
Right.
I'd changing my vote.
I threw that into the tweet that I sent him.
Yeah.
Originally, I said, P.S. You won our March Madness tournament for best WEI radio personality. And I was hoping that'd be like, those guys are cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're cool.
Let it be known when he comes on and be like, yeah, I voted for you.
Yeah.
I can't say the same for Aaron.
Aaron, did you definitely vote for him?
I think it was Lou Merloni. I think Aaron voted for Lou.
I think Lou Merloni guy. No, so we're very excited.
I'm the only motherfucker on this podcast
What's so
that was
fucked up-
fucking pushing for him to be the number
What's
one
so
guy.
fucked up is I've met him a few times, and I really like him as a guy. I just didn't think he was the most entertaining radio personality.
Listen, I'm done. Lou Merloni's not on the podcast. Michael Holley
Yeah,
is.
Michael
I
Holley
wouldn't.
is.
To be honest
Michael
with you,
Holley
if you
wins.
told me we were gonna have Lou Maloney on,
Yeah.
I'd let you guys do the interview. I don't want to talk to him. I have no use.
Are you fucking
I'm
serious?
no fucking use.
I would do a podcast with Glenn Davis.
I would. Yeah, that would be fun.
No, I'm saying I would.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Okay.
Right, and I
You
would
don't
do it with
hate-
Dustin Pedroia.
you
don't
hate Lou Merloni?
You don't
I just
hate
have no
Lou Merloni.
use for him.
Right, but you can't come
I
on
don't
and
have
just
any.
do the show
What
with
do I
him.
ask Glenn Baby Davis? How fun was it to play in the league for 4 years and then suck?
Right, how many marshmallows have you consumed in your life? Like, do you have that number off the top of your head? Like, those
I
are
actually
those
probably can come up with a lot better fucking thoughts about
What?
it. He actually won fucking championships.
What?
At least one.
Oh, shots fired.
Merloni was a Red Sox, and he played with Nomar,
Right.
and Pedro, and
And
fucking.
he also was garbage.
No, he wasn't.
Garbage.
He had a
son.
home
utility
run in his
infielder?
first major league at bat.
He was one of the best
Oh my
utility
God.
infielders in baseball at the time. So,
I'm sorry.
Don't hate on my man Lou.
wow.
I mean, I voted for.
We gotta talk to
Michael,
Holley about this.
I
Who
voted
was
for
the
Michael
number-
Holley to win the best, but Lou Merloni was a close second.
Right, of course. I admit it. I
So
really like Minahan.
who were the top two?
Lou and Holley.
No, it became Lou and Fourier.
Oh, was it Fourier?
It was
and Holley?
Holley and Fourier, yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking joke.
I think I might have voted for Holley. In the
I voted for him on every fucking vote. I don't want to hear it.
The
that
only
you guys,
one, the only one I didn't vote for him on was the one that I think he was matched up with fucking Keefe at some point.
probably.
He either matched up with Minahan or Keefe.
Yeah.
And one of
No, I
those
think it was
two.
Minahan. And you were
so
pissed
let
about
it be
it.
Yeah, I
known,
know.
Dave, known Holley hater.
Yeah. He,
So
yeah.
I wanted him to come on just so I could berate him.
Totally.
you were going to do a Dustin Pedroia
Do
thing,
Dustin
but
Pedroia
to,
thing
to
here.
Not
Holley.
at all. Not
yeah,
at all.
Right, yeah. No, Michael Holley, I'm a huge fan of his work. In his books, I've read a lot of them. I'm like halfway through 2 of them right now. So, I'm just pumped.
I'm excited to ask him about Teddy Bruschi and like possibly his next book.
Yeah.
I'm deathly nervous.
Are you?
Every time I start thinking about having to talk to him, my hands sweat.
Clam up.
I throw up a little.
Yeah.
And I'm excited about it.
Me too. I'm pumped. So,
I genuinely believe he is the number one guy on WEI.
that's interesting. I find that to be interesting.
That's Dave's way of saying, I disagree with you.
Yeah,
No, I know he
may
does.
listen to this for like some backtrack
Yeah.
homework. You know what I mean? Like, all right, what am I getting myself into? So, like, that's really interesting that you feel that way about Michael Holley. I
Dave.
believe that.
We're gonna get a message from Michael Holley. Like,
No,
yeah, you
like,
know,
no, I'm
When
out.
not coming on.
I'm
When
off.
I worked at one of my jobs, I had an hour lunch, and I would literally get in my car, go to wherever I need to go to get my lunch, and as soon as I got back to work, I would sit there and eat in my car and just listen to him and Arnold just back and forth, and just like it's crazy to me that we're going to talk to him.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm excited to at least get to ask him questions.
And if you guys haven't heard of Michael Holley, tune in to WEI. It's 103.7 around here.
Yeah, 2 to 6.
It's 93.7.
Yeah, up there.
But
Right.
between 2 and 6, you'll hear Michael Holley. Dale and Holley.
Dale and Holley with Rich Keefe was the show. So, I'm pumped. Like I said, I've had a couple of my girlfriend says, like, what are you nervous about? Like, you've already talked to him. I'm like, yeah, but I talked to him in a very different facet. Like, I was like, hey, can I get your autograph and maybe get like 2 minutes of your attention while we talk about, I'll talk with John Rondo, Chris Paul with you real quick while you sign this thing. And then he was so gracious to we really got into the conversation or whatever. And then he had to do the show and then commercial break. He'd be like, yo, Rondo, come here, or whatever. And then we kept talking or whatever. We kept picking up where we left off. A few years later, I went to another event at Mohegan. Said, hey, I don't know if you remember me, whatever. He says, yeah, Rondo. And I was like, holy shit. Like, this guy fucking...
Oh, cool. So Dave's having his old friend, Michael Holley, on.
Right, exactly,
I never met the guy before. I throw up every time I think about an interview, man.
Right. But it's different to be like, oh, man, that's cool. Like, I'm looking up at him in that situation. It's weird that, like, he's coming on our show.
Hi, I'm Joe from the Boston Sports Nerds.
Am I going to need to bring out the bucket?
Guys, my hands are sweaty. My hands are sweaty. Feel them.
Like, he can hear that. Like, he can hear that.
Joe, you're on the air.
Joe, Jesus, I have to shut your mic off. Your hands are sweating so loud. So I can hear the sweat forming in your palms.
I can't even hold the mic. It's slipping through.
Michael Holley, next week, Boston Sports Nerds. Check it out. That's a big deal. So, let's wrap this up. We'll get into his writing, his early time, his, coming up.
I'm going to try and ask him questions through vomit.
Just through a pool of vomit, there's going to be a string of questions that may formulate out of Joe's corner there.
Am I going to be the only one that's, confident in this conversation?
No, I'm going to be good.
I'm going to...
I have a feeling. I have a feeling, Dave.
That what?
You're going to start talking to me like, oh my God, I got to go to the bathroom.
You ever watch any teen movie where the nerdy kid tries to talk to the girl,
right?
And he goes up there and
so it's like me today,
runs into a locker,
right?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me, I just need my calculator. Like, well, pardon me.
Hi, Michael Holley. Right. Do you think the Pats team's really good or what? You know what I'm saying? This is a really good Pats team. What do you think about it?
No, they're good. Do you think they're good? Because if you don't think they're good, they're probably not. They're probably not good at all.
Remember when the Pats team was they won the Super Bowl and then they got better? Yeah, that was awesome.
That was awesome. You're gonna be like Chris Farley. Remember that time you wrote that book with David Ortiz? That was awesome.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. So yeah, let's get the hell out of here tonight. Right? You guys got anything?
One thing about Joe's fantasy field goal, which is not out. You may have noticed.
Where are you? Where are you?
I recorded an entire podcast. It was awesome because all of mine are.
Right.
And then my computer froze and it disappeared forever.
And that made it not awesome. Not awesome.
That was decidedly not awesome.
Right.
Turns out.
The jury came back. Not awesome.
Instead of just re-recording one again.
Right.
Because that also would have been not awesome.
Right.
I'm just going to give you guys one on next Tuesday.
There you go.
Also, while we're here,
right,
announcement about the fantasy field goal fantasy football league.
It's a lot of fantasy.
It's a lot of F's.
That's
alliteration everywhere.
That's like the F fantasy football
FFG
field goal. It's like the
FFGFFL. Right. We are going to do what they call best ball style format. That way I don't have to worry about any of you schmucks joining the league and not editing your lineup after.
Yeah, schmucks.
So
be a schmuck show.
AKA Dave.
You draft like 18 people. There's still roster slots, so you still draft a certain amount of running backs, a certain amount of wide receivers, and then it just calculates whoever the best possible lineup would be out of those people automatically.
There you go. That's easy.
It's easier that way. It'll set your lineup the best way off the rip. I don't have to worry about you messing it up. It's all about the draft.
Yeah.
I'm excited, Joe.
I'm excited for the fantasy league.
Apparently, I'm going to be put in like 1 million fantasy leagues this
Do
year.
not
He's
take
joining the work
Aaron
when I'm
Rodgers with the
I'm
first
telling you,
pick.
Number one pick.
I'm leaving the work league. Join at your
best
own risk.
NFL player.
Per
the
don't
ESPYs.
even do this.
Per the ESPYs.
Oh, God.
Aaron Rodgers.
You're really demeaning my fantasy field goal.
You're making
Tips.
it useless. That's it.
You're on the podcast with me, and you don't even listen to my advice.
No, the point is that I make fun of it. I do listen to the advice.
Right.
I'm just too stubborn to take it.
Hey, next week, this is shame on me, too. Oh, yeah, Michael Holley's going to be on the podcast.
What?